Welcome to the beginning of the 2023 season. Welcome to Kiggins Bowl and Boggs Field. The field is named in honor of Gary Boggs, who coached for 34 years at Fort Vancouver High School. Only 2 other coaches in the state have spent more years at one school. Coach Boggs won 163 games and 5 league titles. He stayed loyal to Fort Vancouver, even as larger schools opened with newer facilities. His influence on his players spans generations. As one former player stated, Coach Boggs' professional legacy is not in his win-loss record. It's the 3 generations of travelers who are better people because of him. Tonight, we have a non-league matchup between the visiting Heritage Timberwolves and your Hudson's Bay Eagles. We are pleased to welcome you tonight. The Greater St. Helens League and the WIAA place major emphasis on sportsmanship. The Greater St. Helens League views good sportsmanship as a conscientious effort by students, parents, and staff and participants to maintain a positive environment during all activities. Our goal is to promote positive school spirit, community involvement, and a sense of pride in mutual respect, encouragement, and intelligent decisions. We hope that you will enjoy the game and support the student athletes from both teams in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Thank you. Just a reminder to everyone in attendance here tonight, the use of tobacco products of any kind on any school district property throughout the state is a violation of Washington state law. So please, fans, refrain from using any tobacco products here at Kiggins Bowl. For security and supervision reasons, students may not leave and then re-enter the stadium. Also, students may not bring backpacks or large purses into the stadium. Access to the field is limited to those holding field passes. Spectators are asked to remain in the stadium and visiting bleacher areas and to walk only on the paved concrete. Well, that got louder. Please keep all food items, nuts, seeds, and flavored drinks away from the turf. Only water is allowed in the team area near the field. And just a reminder to everyone in attendance, you will not be allowed to walk on the field after the conclusion of the game. And ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem. Yes. Hit it, Jack.
To this VPS Game Time presentation of Greater St. Helens League football. Tonight here at Kiggins Bowl, we have the Heritage Wolves versus the Hudson's Bay Eagles in a first game matchup. This is the very first game here at Kiggins Bowl in this new year. My name is Nick Voll, and I have a special guest here with me, Superintendent of Vancouver Public Schools, Jeff Snell. Jeff, thanks for coming in.
It's such a pleasure to be here on a beautiful night at Kiggins Bowl for kickoff, opening kickoff.
We see the teams advancing towards midfield here for the coin toss. It's been pretty overcast all day, very muggy. The sun is coming out now, which will make for a very pretty game, although with those shadows in the sun, it'll be interesting to see how the teams adjust to that, and our camera operators, frankly. But, you know, it's the first game of the year, so it should be a lot of fun.
got a lot of students working those cameras, right?
Yeah, we do. We have a great crew turnout today. I think we've got 9, if my count was correct, from between Skyview and Fort Vancouver High School. And of course, in our program, we get kids from all of the high schools. Just today, it happens to be Skyview and Fort. But we are looking forward to a great season. We've got 10 games on our schedule this year, which is pretty exciting. More football coverage than we've had since the COVID year when we covered all of the games because people couldn't come. We're trying to broaden out and get as many games to you as we can.
It's pretty amazing, the program that we all have built, and the students, and the opportunity. Here we are on the 3rd day of the school year, and we've got a student crew running a football telecast, and the level of the broadcast just keeps getting better and better each year.
Well, I think we can thank the video production teachers.
Hudson's Bay has won the toss, and they will receive.
Students out here and give them the basic, bedrock skills they need to be able to do this sort of stuff. And they're all a really talented bunch. So thanks to them for hustling these kids and letting them know about this opportunity. The teams here are starting to get ready for the kickoff. We see the officials parting ways, and I'm excited about this this season here. The Hudson's Bay Eagles last year were very close to a playoff berth, just missed it. They have their eyes set on a playoff berth this year. Heritage with a new coach, Kevin Peterson, taking over after years as an assistant. He bleeds Heritage purple. He's a teacher there, and he's excited to take the reins of this Wolves team. They were winless last year. I have a feeling they won't be winless this year. I am really curious to see how they come out here. They had some trouble scoring last year. I'm sure Peterson has made some changes to the offense, and hopefully we'll get some big scores today.
Hopefully not too much, as I am biased towards the Hudson's Bay Eagles this evening.
I try to be as neutral as possible, but you as the superintendent, you got to root for your kids.
Well, we want to have a lot of fun out here tonight. We got some fans out here, some students, and so just a wonderful evening to celebrate all that is high school athletics.
Yeah, and of course, it's somewhat of an early kick, so a lot of parents are still filtering in as they get off of work.
Here's the kickoff, and the 2023 season is underway.
Short kick lands at about the 22, fumbles it out of bounds, or can't handle it. So still pretty decent starting here position for Hudson's Bay around the 17-yard line.
Kickoff is mishandled out of bounds, and the ball will be placed at the 17-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles to open up the season.
Can cause some problems, so I think Hudson's Bay is glad to have possession. Starting inside their own 20.
Yeah, those short hops, you never know where they're going to go with the football. So see what we got on our first play.
I am grateful for no smoke out here as well. That has been a challenge lately with some of our fall sports. Cleared out enough for that.
Looks like behind center is William Clark, a quarterback, and he's going to hand it off. First play of the year, up the middle. Big gain on the first play, about 8 yards.
Is that Bauman again?
Yep, Raphael Bauman with the carry.
Ron Bauman on the carry. Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2 for the Eagles.
So you can't ask for much of a better start here for Hudson's Bay.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them keep running that until Heritage shows that they can stop that here.
So 2 receivers down to the right. Clark, another hand up off the middle. That's going to be a first down. Good job, Bauman, scooting through that hole there.
Gain of 5 on the play for Rob Bauman, and that's enough for Eagles. First down.
11-17 here, or excuse me, 11-18. Yeah, the clock's running in the first quarter.
I'm guessing this is the first game for our officiating crew today too, and always a lot of appreciation for them coming out here.
Bauman in motion. That handoff goes up the middle. Big gainer there for Akil Bauman. A couple of Baumans here on our roster.
Akil Bauman on the carry. Gain of 8 on the play to bring up 2nd and 2 for the Eagles.
It's a nice weapon to have when you get
at the
Raphael
40-yard
Bauman,
line.
a couple of big runs right off the bat. You put him in motion. The defense pays attention to him, and then his brother, I'm assuming, runs it right up the middle.
Makes it easier for us too as announcers when we know the ball's going to Bauman.
Yeah, just say Bauman.
Yeah.
Bauman. Bauman. Bauman in motion again. Raphael, that is. Heritage stuffs that one up the middle. That was Talon Guerrero.
Looks like they might have lost a yard on that.
Talon Guerrero on the
First
play
third down of the
loses the yard. 3rd and 3 for the Eagles.
So Heritage sort of stacks the box there and sniffs that one out. And that's what you want to do if you're Heritage. Make Clark throw he can beat you in the air or on the edge, because they haven't attempted something like that just yet. Clark did get some time in a quarterback last season as a backup, so this isn't his first go-around. The senior under center here. Looks like there's a timeout of some sort.
Get a shoelace. An official's timeout there.
Officials timeout.
Benefits both teams, I'd say. Take a breath.
Yeah.
You know, they're in great shape. They've been training, but this is the first game, and this is the first time they've had to do this year.
That's a little different from practice in that first game, and a big third down, really. Bay with a nice drive to start off from deep in their own territory and moving out towards the midfield.
So let's see if they come up with 2 out to the right, 2 behind Clark. Kind of the same variation of the same formation we've seen every play so far. There's a big hole up the middle. That's a first down. Raphael Bauman on the carry. That's going to move the chain.
Rob Bauman on the carry. Picks up 10 yards.
Until after the first
And that's enough for another Eagles first down.
Like I said, if you can't stop that play, just keep running up the middle.
1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 47-yard line.
Bay really pushing the line forward here. I believe that's Timote Vaea at center. Big guy there leading the way. Oh, great move by Bauman. Didn't have it in the middle, took a cut step to his left, and bounced around, pick up about 6.
Rob Bauman on the carry, makes a few defenders miss.
Like
Picks up 5 on the play.
Checked in there at quarterback, so I think there may be some rotation here as we see quarterbacks kind of moving in and out here.
Yep, and there's Clark coming back in. Now Clark is listed as a quarterback only. I believe he had played some wide receiver in years past as well.
So as the Eagles cross midfield, it is 2nd and 5 at the Timberwolves 48-yard line.
Some quarterback keepers here from him. He rolls out to his left, seeing he's got nowhere to go. He's going to pick up some yards. That's a first down out of bounds.
Quarterback keeps it himself. Gets around the corner and steps out of bounds after another Eagles first down.
Good on this first drive. Coach Peterson in his first year, first game, probably doesn't like to see this ball being advanced just through the run here. Probably going to see some adjustments from Heritage, which means that some other things might open up, like you said, to the outside or maybe through the air.
So now 3 wide receivers right. Looks like Hudson's Bay opening it up just a little bit here, and 1 up to the left. Back to pass. Nowhere to go. Going to tuck it and run. Gets back to the line. Maybe that's about a 2-yard gain right there.
It looked like maybe Jaden Compton. I'm having a hard time. My eyes are getting old, but
I think that was Michael Miller on the carry. Yeah.
And Jaden with maybe thought he was going to get a sack, but Miller was able to carry that momentum forward for at least 1 yard here.
Michael Miller gains a yard on the play, 2nd and 9 for the Eagles.
The Eagles have done a great job so far.
At the Heritage 40-yard line.
Third down is really manageable. This is our first one. Well, we have a great push up front from Heritage. Dropping Clark. Looks like maybe lost 1 yard on the
Clark is brought down.
Bring up third down. Looks like just under 10 yards to go.
It's now 3rd and 9 for the Eagles at
This
the
might be
Heritage
2
40-yard
down
line.
or 4 down territory here. Kind of a little outside of the, for sure, field goal range, and I don't know if a punt here is really necessarily what you're going to do. So you might see a play to get half of this here.
Miller back to pass. He's got some wide open. That's a completion. That's going to be close to a first down. I think he's passed it. That was Jake Pepler on the reception.
Nice throw by Miller, and a great route by the receiver. Sometimes you see them run that a little short, but he was beyond the marker and then made that catch, and then a good hit right away from Heritage.
Yeah, he knew where he was, and he hit a spot. They haven't moved the chains yet, but he was past the line of scrimmage. The official standing on the 29-yard line, which would make it a first down. Still waiting for the call, though. Looks like they're talking it over. I'm not sure what the confusion is here, but.
Yeah, I didn't even see the penalty flag on there. So.
Oh, I didn't see it at all either. Yeah, and maybe that's that sun too.
Yeah.
See what the gentleman in the white hat has to say about it. Still talking it over. Personal foul on the offense.
Oh, that's unusual. I kind of looking for where that was. Sometimes you'll see that around the tackle, or and I didn't see anything, so there must have been something or in the backfield or something when our eyes were downfield.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe our instant replay crew may be able to find that one, see if they can track that one down.
Boy, that's a really big penalty for Bay, because a lot of momentum getting down, like you said, to the 29-yard line, and now we're looking at a third and quite long here, 24 it looks like.
As you mentioned, though, still probably, if they make some positive gains here, still probably 4-down territory.
Yeah, if they can pick up 15 or so on this, it's a good chance for 4th down.
Little draw up the middle. That's going to be a gainer, but will it be enough? No. Almost back to the original line of scrimmage is Akil Ballman.
Great tackle there by Ramon Garrison from Heritage, a sophomore. Really looked like there was some room to run, and then he closed in and made a good tackle on the play.
Picks up a chunk of that yardage.
I see some new personnel coming in, so I'm guessing we are going to see a punt.
At the Heritage 45-yard
Those first
line.
tackles of the season are tough ones, so I think every time you see a good tackle out there, just know that those kids are working hard. They get 1 or 2 under their belt, and they feel a lot more comfortable as the season progresses.
Yep, they are going to kick this one away.
As Eagles line up to punt, back to receive.
Ends up being a pretty good stand for Heritage defenses. I think Coach Peterson will take that.
Sure. Joey Roper here
Number
back to punt.
17,
Great
Jacob
snap, low
Lockett.
end over end kick, taken as a fair catch at the 19-yard line by. I don't have that number on my. Where's that, Vega?
After the fair catch,
Was that, or is it?
Timberwolves will take over at their
Well,
own
in any case, it's going to be
19-yard line.
Heritage first down on the 19-yard line.
I think I'm going to need to bring my binoculars to the next game on some of these numbers so I can help out.
Well, I'm just glad it's not Union today, because they often have those silver on white uniforms.
Very
It just
difficult to
drives
see in
me
the sunshine.
crazy as an announcer. You can't see it, but both of these teams high contrast. So thanks to both schools for that.
Heritage starting out in spread here.
A little offsides right off the bat. Looks like we've got Owen Daly under center here, a sophomore.
There's a flag before this one starts, and that will be offsides.
Yep,
against
easy
the
5
Eagles.
yards for the Wolves here, and they're going to march forward.
Just a little too anxious on the edge there. I think
So Heritage
Or
will
that
begin
was,
their
looks like
first
it was
possession of the
Jonathan
season with
Melendez.
1st and 5.
First defensive snap of the year. Doesn't go the Eagles' way. So out of the shotgun here, receivers on both sides. The lefty delivers a little out pass. That's going to be a first down. Good quick little play off the bat, a little confidence builder. Kind of pass we see a lot of now in college football, the quick little out and let the athlete make the play.
definitely a good pursuit by Bay's defense, making the tackle. Looks like it's enough for a first down, though.
You've got right to
And
that
that's enough
marker.
for Timberwolves first down.
But when I see those quick little passes, if I'm a cornerback, I'm also thinking maybe I want to jump one of those at some point. So we'll see if Bay's defense can read some of those as the game progresses.
But then you get into sort of some of those fun variations, right? The pump fake and the deep throw.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the beautiful things about football, the chess game. Handoff up the middle. Good. Oh, look at that. Linebacker there for Bay, just holding on till help arrives. Couldn't see who made the tackle. It looks like perhaps it was Michael Stump.
Evan Buckman on the carry refuses to go down. His forward progress is stopped after about 3
That was
yards.
Evan Buckman on the carry, the senior.
2nd and 7 for the Timberwolves.
Second and 7 with about 5 minutes left in the first quarter here.
Batting shotgun. Really spread offense. Another quick out. This time they take the sort of a slant pattern in, I guess. The first play we saw him bounce to the outside. This time we see him bounce to the inside, but doesn't pick up a lot. It's going to be 3rd and about 6.
Owen Daly's pass is complete to number 17.
But again, you know, if you're a young
Jacob
quarterback and you're a team that didn't score a lot of points last year, this is a good way to
Gain
get
of about
easy
a
yards and
yard,
move down the
but it'll
field
be
and
3rd
build
and
confidence
6
until you're able to
for the Timberwolves.
look a little farther downfield.
Yeah, 2 for 2 starting off. Big
Love-
3rd down here for Bay.
Love watching lefties throw. I have a theory that left-handed quarterbacks and left-handed jump shooters always have just gorgeous form. I don't know if
It's
it's proven
3rd
right.
down.
Looks like an audible being called here. Daly changing it up a little. Takes the snap, looks down the middle. This one's tapped away. Great penetration by that Hudson's Bay defense. Tony Guerrero there smacks it down and does a little smack talking.
They wanted something quick inside there, and Bay had just enough penetration on the rush to get those hands up and knock that pass down for a big 3rd down spot.
So Bay gets what it wants. Got 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Back to a punt here. It's a big number for a punter, if I'm reading that correctly. Trying to figure out. Looks like he was in the 60s.
Gets it off by the short kick.
That's a friendly bounce there for Heritage to get on the other side of the 50-yard line, but still pretty great field position for the Eagles here, starting their second possession.
Let's see if they can keep that momentum of that first drive. The only thing that really stopped them was that personal foul penalty.
Kind of thing that'll drive a coach nuts. Perfect execution and just one mistake.
Yep. That happens in the first game of the year. Those are things that the coaches definitely will have an opportunity to talk to their student athletes about. Sometimes the emotions get going a little bit.
After the Timberwolves punt, Eagles
All right,
will
so
take
first
over
down
at
here.
the
We've got Clark
48-yard
back under
line.
center. Little end around here. Trying to find some space. Does find it. Gets out to the outside. Makes nothing into something there. Raphael Bauman with the carry. Just good patience. We talked about that earlier, waiting for the blocks to develop, and his line got out there and made the blocks in his wide receiver. So a good first down pickup of about 5.
2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Hey, guess what, everybody?
Bay
The
continues to
concession
rotate their
stand is now
quarterbacks
open.
between Clark and Miller. Miller's in there. It seems like when Miller's been in there, they've been looking to throw maybe just a little
So
bit
go to the
more.
concession stand and get you some
Kind of that
deliciousness in
classic
your life.
running quarterback, throwing quarterback duo. See a lot in high school and college football, and a great bit of tackling on the outside there by Heritage. That was Hunter Renneria.
Malachi Hodges is brought
It looked
down
like he
for
might
no
be able to
gain
get to the
by
corner,
number
and
2,
then Hunter just kind of was
Renteria.
able to reach out and grab him. It's the first time we've seen him try to bounce it outside. They've been sending that
3rd and 5 for
person
the
in
Eagles
motion most of the game
after
through
the
and
Heritage
going up the
48-yard
middle.
line.
Yeah, Ramon Garrison on the pursuit there as well.
Brings up a 3rd down and 5. Just on the Heritage side of midfield here.
Little handoff up the middle to Bauman. He breaks it big. That's a first down and more. Here he goes up. He lost his mouthpiece. You can see it flying out of his helmet there. The helmet comes off.
Breaks a big one.
He's got a
Flag on the
flag
play.
on that one. I think it might be associated with that hit.
Great run
Picks
though
up 20
from
yards on the
Bauman.
play.
Just shows the burst
And
up
that's
the middle.
enough
We'll see if
for
that
Eagles
holds for
first
Hudson's Bay or if
down.
that's coming back.
But hold
I
on,
really like the
there's a
blocking
flag on the
downfield
play.
from Hudson's Bay too. You saw a lot of guys hustling down there and trying to get their hands on Heritage defenders.
You also see that quick first step. I mean, he was through that whole lickety-split. So the officials face mask on the defense. So
Okay.
that's going to move it forward another 15 yards for Hudson's Bay.
And that's part of maybe seeing that mouthpiece fly off, huh? There was a little hand in there that helped assist to that.
So here come the chains. Players waiting for those chains to move. Hudson's Bay, I'm guessing, wants to keep this, keep the heat on, keep the pace up.
It's a face mask against the Timberwolves.
So one out to the left, one out to the right.
And that'll move the Eagles up even further.
Miller under center again.
Now on the 24-yard line. see something
It's
he
like
doesn't
another
like.
timeout for this time not officials. This is our first timeout from Hudson's Bay at 2:28 left in the first quarter with the real first scoring opportunity of the game.
Yeah. And our first timeout of the year brings us our first announcement. Hey, we are back at school. It started on Wednesday. So we've got a lot of information on our website for folks out there. Parents, the resources you need as the school year gets going, including the schedule changes at our high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools, information on vaccinations if you still need to take care of that, bus routes, and what school supplies are. Jeff, how is school going so far?
Gosh, it's been actually great. I think one thing we noted is the weather's been not as hot as usual, and so I think it's made things a little more mellow maybe, but just students doing a great job, families being really patient, love seeing them back, and then staff really focused on welcoming our kids back and lots of excitement around VPS.
And I love that schedule change. It's something I would have loved in high school.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody's flexibility and patience with that, but yeah, it's nice to kind of align with the research around what really works for high school students.
Good run up the left side there. Didn't see what the ball carrier was. Looks like that was a Kielbaum. Here comes Clark back into the game.
Again, Bay doing a really good job on first down, getting themselves into situations where really any play is an option on second and third down. It's tough for a defense to know how to respond. A little bit on their heels, it feels like so far to start this game.
Hand off up the middle to the fullback. Not a lot of room, but he does pick up a few yards. That's Talon Guerrero on the carry. So we've seen him make an impact on offense and defense.
Guerrero on the carry picks up 4 on the play. The third and
fullback, one of the more thankless roles on the team. Job is to block and get hit.
Like you said, he's already made his mark here in the first quarter a couple times. So great start for him. Third and short here. Got to think this might be 2 down territory as well. Great play.
So
that was Evan Buckman that had was in the backfield almost at the same time that Bauman received the ball and made a really good play, losing a couple of yards.
So 4th and about 4. Let's see what they do. Most of the time in high school, we're not going to see a field goal here, especially this team that's shown some ability to break runs on late downs. We've only seen one pass so far on this Eagles offense.
And they're going for it.
So Miller back. Doesn't like what he sees. Calls the audible. Drops back, hands it off. That ball's on the turf, and that's a Heritage recovery.
Well, it's amazing how just a couple of plays really changed the feel of the game, huh? Bay was just driving there, had a third down and short, and Heritage defense really comes up strong. Gets a stop on third down and then gets the fumble on 4th down. And a turnover here, and Heritage is back on offense.
Yep, they're going to take over here with 22.7 seconds left here in the first quarter. For a scoreless quarter, I felt like we've seen some pretty good action so far.
Yeah, and I feel like if I'm Hudson's Bay staff, I'm a little frustrated that we really kind of dominated that quarter and didn't get any points on the board, but hopefully we can stay the course and start to get some scores.
Hand off up the middle. That's snuffed out.
You can just tell right now Heritage doesn't have that same push up front that Hudson's Bay seems to have on those running plays. Really what's been successful for Heritage, as you noted, is getting that ball outside with a quick pass.
Yeah, Talon Guerrero there on the tackle. First sniffing out the correct to hit and stuff in the play. So at the end of 1, we have a scoreless tie. The 3A Heritage Wolves, the 2A Hudson's Bay Eagles. Looking forward to a fun second quarter, see what we can get on offense here. While we are waiting here, I've got some cool news for all you folks out there. One of our own, Spencer Fredrickson, who got his start in this very stadium producing Fort sports broadcasts in high school, just won his very first Emmy. Spencer worked on the recent Men's World Cup in Qatar, and the coverage he helped produce won a National Sports Emmy. It's the biggest honor in the broadcasting industry, and we're so proud of Spencer as he represents Fort Vancouver and continues his stellar career in broadcasting. When I first started this job, Spencer was still coming and doing these broadcasts with us as a volunteer, just trying to make his way through the broadcasting industry, and now look at him.
Wow, that's incredible. Way to go, Spencer. And what a start he got here, huh?
Right,
That's awesome.
yeah, under Andy Burhow, who was teaching at Fort Vancouver, is now retired, and Joel Burhow was in the next booth over. So pretty cool. Look at that control room. That is a little more complicated than ours, I will say.
Yeah, I think I'd be pretty intimidated by that.
And what he does is incredibly technically oriented. He's shading
Ladies and
cameras to make sure all
gentlemen,
the
please
cameras
help
match.
support the Hudson's Bay High School class
It's
of
stuff really
2024
high-end
by
stuff that he
purchasing
does.
a 50/50
Speaking
raffle
of
ticket.
cameras, this looks like a
Tickets
pretty
sell
nice
for $1
review
each,
we're
and you
getting
must
this year,
be at
right?
least
Yeah, this
18
camera review comes
years
courtesy
old
of the
to
Bug
play.
project, actually, that was completed
We'll be
last
selling
year.
tickets
Gave us
until
a
halftime.
little
The
internet
winner
port
will
out there so you
finally
could plug
draw.
a camera in
Thank
and
you
see
for
this
supporting
view of the
the
stadium that we've
Hudson's
never
Bay
been
High
able to
School
give people
senior
before,
class
so you can
of
kind of see the whole
2024.
picture. Kind of a majestic. I've often said it would be cool if the cameras were on the other side of the stadium because this stadium itself is so beautiful.
We're set
It's
to
an
begin the
amazing
second
stadium, and
quarter.
if our viewers haven't
We're
seen, there's a
second
great
and 10
article in
for
the
the
Columbian
Timberwolves
recently about
at
all
their
the
own
high school
20-yard line.
stadiums in the area and the history, and of course Kiggins has a ton of history.
Yeah, Tim Martinez produced that, and that's a pass interference call or a holding call. It was pretty apparent on the outside there.
Flag
Yeah,
on the play.
Tim Martinez produced that series. It was just fascinating to see the local history.
Well, it really felt like that was an unfortunate penalty because the throw, and it just didn't look like that was going to connect up, and
It's pass interference
defender
against
got
the
out there and
Eagles.
grabbed a hold of somebody. Got to give props to that official
And that will
who
give
threw that
Heritage
flag. It looked like
automatic
he was
first
in
down.
mid-season form. That flag went about 15 yards in the air, I think.
And he thought about it, too. He didn't throw it right away.
It was very intentional.
I have a feeling it was one of those, if the pass is completed, the flag stays in the pocket. But
Yeah.
he definitely impeded his progress.
I forget, too, is that in high school football, it's always all these pass interference to NFL college. It looks like it's a mark-off instead of a spot foul in high school, which is a little different than maybe people are used to watching on TV.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things that benefits the defense. If you're beat, commit pass interference,
Yeah.
it's 10 yards instead of a touchdown.
Yeah.
Not in this instance, but you see it
Definitely.
sometimes. So Heritage getting that play call from the sideline. No huddle for them. Daly calling it out to his teammates, all checking their wrists, seeing which play they're running. Little handoff up the middle. Good bit of penetration there by Hudson's Bay. It looked like Michael Brinson on the tackle
That's
there.
number 36,
Stayed
Isaiah
home and made the
James.
play.
On the carry.
Heritage
Brings it
really
back
just
to
had
the
some
backfield by
tough time
number
finding
56,
running
Michael
room
Brinson.
inside here. Bay's front
And number 32,
their line and
Max
linebackers
Van
are really
Hoosen
doing a
comes to
great
join
job filling those holes, like you said.
Talented sophomore Isaiah James on the carry there.
Looks like it brings up a 2nd and 10, so no gain on that first down.
So we've seen a lot of this formation out of Heritage so far. 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. Here's a swing pass out there. A lot of room for him to run. Runs through the defender, but the other one catches up there.
Yeah, Bowman with the initial hit and kind of held up, and then it looked like Michael Stump came in and finished it off.
But a good pickup. You get half the yards you need. You got another play to get the other half.
I'm waiting for
Owen
Bowman
Bailey's
to
pass
jump
is
that route
complete.
there.
Number
It
4,
feels
Dakari
like
Bradford.
each time they're doing that, the quarterback is pretty intentional about
For
throwing
a
it to
gain
the
of
short
4,
guy, and the
3rd and 6
receiver
for
on
the
the top
Timberwolves.
is going out and looking for a block here.
It's 3rd down, Eagle fans, make some noise.
So here's Daly. Hands it off. This one goes up the middle. The sophomore again, James. He's pushing the pile. He's pushing it. Is he going to get there? Oh, it's close.
Boy, what an effort by James.
We are,
He was hit initially right at the line of scrimmage.
and we are right on that line.
Isaiah
We can
James
see
on the
it's
carry, picks up
just
5.
very close.
Take several Eagles
like he's
with
gonna
him
be-
before he's
I think
dropped
he's
short of
short.
the first down.
Yep, looks like they're marking him just half a yard short
It's
here.
4th and 1, and the Timberwolves will keep their offense on the
Seems
field.
like it might be something to go for it, and they are gonna. On their side of midfield, but again, the punting game
fourth
really
down,
didn't look like it was
Eagle
giving
fans.
them
Make
a
some
lot of
noise.
change of field.
Trying to draw a little hard count here out of Daly. Bay showing some discipline there and staying down. Ooh, fumble there. Regardless, that's going to be Hudson's Bay football.
Something about that fourth down. We've had 2 fumbles on fourth down, both kind of just, not that the defense didn't force it, but certainly it looked like, I think if we talked to the offense, that they would say, that's something that we got to do a little better on the exchange.
Yeah, I think that snap was to the left, and Daly reached out and just barely held onto it and tried to kind of shovel it over to the running back, and that's where the fumble happened. So first down for Hudson's Bay, good field position. This is the 3rd time they've been in Heritage territory. We'll see if they can make anything happen with it. Trying to see, is that Clark under center again? He hands it off up the middle to Bauman. Raphael Bauman, nowhere to go.
Well, that was a much better effort by the Heritage up front. They were in there, and Bauman really had nowhere to go.
We'll see if Hudson's Bay tries to, I mean, we've seen that play over and again. We'll see if they do take a chance downfield here on the outside.
Miller's checking in at quarterback.
At their own 44-yard line.
Coach Mark Oliverio back here at Hudson's Bay after a couple of years away. Last coach to lead the Eagles to the playoffs. Here's Miller up the middle to Bauman. Again, not a lot of room. He does make some positive yardage, but a lot of white jerseys over there.
Boy, Bauman has a lot of effort on that. You gotta love to see that as a coach, really just keeps his momentum going forward, keep working.
Keep those feet chopped.
Bauman again on the carry.
So about 6 to go here for the Eagles.
Gain some of that yardage back.
And we are settling into just a gorgeous clear sky here at Kiggins Bowl.
At the Heritage 39-yard line.
Clark checks back in at quarterback, and Bauman checks out. Looks like he's getting a bit of a breather sitting down.
We'll hand off up the middle. That ball's on the turf, but he recovers. Michael stumped at the carry, lost it, and was able to pull it back in.
Michael's
going to be 4th down and about
3 yards on the play.
See what Coach Oliverio has in his pocket here.
It's officially marked as a gain of 2.
That was a good bounce for the Eagles. To get 2 yards on a fumble is a pretty good thing.
And the Eagles are keeping their offense on the field.
Looks like Miller in a quarterback. High snap, drops back to throw. Little screen inside. They're going to get the first down on this one, and all the way down to the 26-yard line. Guess who? Akil Bauman. I should just say Bauman.
Yeah, great setup there. Had a couple blockers out in front. Miller took his time and delivered a nice ball. Great pickup on 3rd down for the Eagles.
Yeah, and it wasn't a wide open throw. He had a pretty narrow window to put it in, and he hit it. So 1st and 10 here on the 26-yard line. Clark, he whips it out to the right. We've seen this play out of Heritage. Now we see it out of Bay. Great move out of Raphael Bauman, and he picks up about 7 yards.
Well, that was a really nice move. He was out there in space, one cornerback, and gave a little inside, and then went outside and picked up a nice gain.
That wasn't Bauman, that was Nishi Lavoisier, one of the best names on the field tonight.
18-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, the defender had it read correctly, just couldn't make the tackle. Here's Miller, he hands it off the middle, up the middle. Akil Bauman picks up about 4 yards, gets the first down, and we're looking at another first down here for Hudson's Bay. So just bit by bit, they are marching down that field.
Picks up 7 on the play, and that's enough.
Looks like we're just outside the 10-yard line, so Bay can get a first down.
Eagles at the Heritage 11-yard line.
We're getting pretty close.
We're approaching the newish, this is the 2nd season of the field house on the north end here at Kiggins Bowl. Again, the result of the bond measure that voters passed that updated the facilities here of this nearly 100-year-old stadium. Clark hands it off the middle to Akil Bauman. He keeps those feet moving. Boy, those guys, will not be stopped.
Carry picks up 6
No arm
on
tackle.
play.
7 yards on that play.
It'll be 2nd and 4 at the Timberwolves 5-yard line.
Back into the game comes Miller.
Eagles looking to spread out a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised with another inside. Oh, they're throwing that.
A little fade out to the corner of the end zone. That is caught, but he is out of bounds. Oh,
Great time. I hope he's okay down
yeah,
there.
a couple of players down there. It looked like the tackling dummies were beyond the end zone, and the players ran into them.
Number 4, Nietzsche Lavoisier.
Looks like the officials and the trainers heading over there. Both players shaking up on that
the
play.
injured player on the field.
Yeah, it was a really good
For
catch
Hudson
down
Bay.
there, but it was just about 4 or 5 yards beyond the end zone, and went into the tackling dummies there. And right away, the cornerback motioned for some assistance down there. So
Now the Eagles players have sprinted down. They're moving the tackling dummies off the turf behind the fence. It's pretty far beyond, so I can see how they just left it there because it's pretty far beyond the end of the end zone. Both players up now and returning to their benches on their own power. Looks like number 2, Hunter Renteria for Heritage with a bit of a limp, but I have a feeling we'll probably see him
for
again.
Heritage, it's number 2,
Bussey's
Hunter
back into the
Renteria.
game, so that's good. Good news. Both players just going after it there.
It was a good toss, just a bit too far. You can see the Heritage crowd there, breathing the
Fortunately
sun,
for
what
everyone,
remains of the
both
sun,
players are up
the
walking
shadow
under their
here
own
in
power.
Kiggins Bowl. All right, Clark checks back into the game here. It's 3rd down. I mean, this is obviously 2-down territory. It's only 3 to go. And with the way Hudson's Bay's been able to run the ball up the middle, wouldn't be surprised to see another play that direction here. Keel Bauman in the backfield. Looks like we might have we've got a Heritage timeout.
Timeout Heritage.
Well, earlier we told you about Spencer Fredrickson, one of our alums. We also have another awesome VPS person to tell you about, Hilda Lale. She was the Regional Classified Employee of the Year. She works in the, she's the district's Spanish family advocate, connecting families with services they need and with school staff. She's an invaluable member of our district, helping guide Spanish-speaking parents to make sure their children get the best education possible. Hilda also hosts VPS en Español, a Spanish-language news program for families. She is now eligible to win the State Classified Employee of the Year, which we should find out about here shortly. Congratulations to Hilda, and good luck at the state level. I have the privilege of working with Hilda a lot, and she's just a fantastic person who really helps families, and you can see how much they connect to her.
She's amazing. Yeah, the impact she has on our district is incredible, and it's nice to see her get that recognition.
3rd and 4, the 5-yard line.
So 3rd and 4, they run up the middle. Bauman, I don't think he got there.
Bauman on the carry.
Looks like he might be about a yard short as the referee comes in and marks that.
So I'm sure we're going to see another running play here on 4th down out of the Eagles.
Just a yard to go.
Picks
Really
up
a big
about 2
play
yards
here,
on the
as
play.
we talked about before. Hudson's Bay has really dominated the first half, but
It'll be 4th and
still a
1
scoreless tie here. So
at the 3-yard
Heritage has
line.
been able to bend a little bit, but not break in the end. And here's one more chance for them to do that.
Let's see what the dial up here. Miller in a quarterback. He's got a Keel Bauman behind him, along with the human wrecking ball, Talon Guerrero. Well, there's a fumble. That ball's on the ground again. Let's see who comes up with it. If Bay recovers, it might be a 1st down.
Yeah, the ball was definitely rolling forward, but I don't know.
They're trying to
Couldn't
sort
see
it
who
out.
got
Heritage
it.
seems to believe they have it, but I think every defense always thinks they have it, so
Yeah.
we'll see what the officials have to say about it.
I haven't seen the signal yet.
1st down. I see the white
No,
hat
there it
calling
is.
a
Yeah,
1st down
first
for
down.
Hudson's Bay. So they're putting it going to be right at the goal line, 1st and goal.
Ball was fumbled
It's the 2nd
forward.
time we've seen them gain
Yeah.
from a fumble.
They've gained
And
probably
now
about 4 or
David
5
Eagles
yards through
recovers.
fumbles today. I don't think that's what the
And that
coach likes,
gives
but
the Eagles
he'll take it here,
a
1st and goal.
1st down.
In comes Clark at quarterback again.
So 4
First and
downs to
goal,
pick up about
1-yard
3 feet.
line.
Out to the left, we see Max von Humison. Handoff up the middle. There's a Hudson's Bay touchdown. Akil Bowman bangs it inside. That's 6 points. Hudson's Bay takes the early lead.
Fitting that a Bowman will get that touchdown after all the work that they've done moving the ball up and down the field here. That's got to feel good for Hudson's Bay.
A couple of disappointing trips before this and able to bang it in and take the lead, score the first touchdown of the season. Hudson's Bay had no problem scoring last year, and it looks like they have the talent to do that again this year. So back for the extra point here is Joey Roper. The ball is up, plenty of leg.
Joey
It is
Roper,
good.
the extra point.
Onto the roof of the house over there.
Yeah, the field house. The metal roof so it can take a beating from these footballs.
We got that net up there.
It's your Eagles 7.
No patrons take the ball
Heritage
there.
0.
Just the roof.
Have you had a chance to tour the field house as of yet?
I haven't.
It's pretty cool. The
Yeah.
locker rooms are really nice. I mean, historically here at Kiggins Bowl, the locker rooms were rough.
Yeah, I've been a coach down there before, and they weren't the best feature of the field, I don't think.
But the new field house with lots of room, showers, water. Actually, you know what? There are no showers in here because they bus in, they bus out, and there's double headers. But there's a great concession stand down there that hopefully will open at some point.
Get a good shot of that field house there.
Yep.
Behind.
You see the metal roof we were talking about there with the green metal roof. Just one of, again, many awesome new features here at the stadium since the bond measure passed, including improved seating here at the stadium. There's metal seating now. There used to be just the concrete steps.
Yeah. Yeah, really a lot of appreciation to our community for supporting that. You can also see beyond, there's another field there that and a track back there. So lots of opportunities for the community to come in and use these amazing resources.
And also a huge benefit to Discovery Middle School, which hadn't had a track of its own before. So back to kick is Roper. Back to receive, we've got two Wolves. Can't see the numbers. Boots it to about the 10-yard line, and here we go with the return. Good blocking initially. He's got some space. He's going to run. Breaks a tackle. Got two men to beat. All the way down the sidelines. He's pulled down right at the goal line. We're going to see they put it at the 1-yard line. Oh, they say touchdown now. Touchdown. Heritage.
Wow, what a run.
All the way.
That was Luke Melvin on the return, a junior. Wow, that's so hard to work with the Bay. Finally gets that punched in, and then it takes literally 10 seconds, and we've got another touchdown on the board for Heritage, and another maybe tie game pending the extra point.
And it's plays like that where you see why some high school coaches don't bother to kick it deep anymore.
Yeah.
You may give up 10 yards on the short kick, but you're not going to give up a touchdown. And Roper's got a good leg. He really booted it out there, and that gave the blockers time to set up and give Melvin the space he needed to make the play.
He had a lot of room along that right side, and then all of a sudden it opened up. Maybe we'll get a replay on this and see that. Anytime you get a touchdown return is kind of a big deal and a great way to start the year for Luke Melvin.
So Heritage scores its first touchdown of the year. Now, of course, this is the second day of football here in our area. Yesterday, Washougal with a big win at home to start its season. But I think this is the second football game of the entire year in our area. The kick is up, and it just made it. Didn't have a lot of leg, but just enough to get through. And we are tied at 7.
Big answer for Heritage. Coach Peterson's got to love that play from the special teams.
With 3:48 remaining in the first
So
half.
3:48 here in the second quarter. We're going to see if Hudson's Bay has an answer up its sleeve. Its attack has been pretty methodical and slow so far. It's a lot of 3 and 4 yard gains on the ground, but there is enough time probably to pull something like that off again, or we might see Miller or Clark put in the air a bit.
Yeah, definitely enough time to at least start off with running that ball. Really, Heritage hasn't shown that they've stopped it, although the last drive they had a little bit more push up front.
Well, while we're waiting for that kickoff, Dr. Snell, how's the strategic planning process going? I know that's been a big priority for the district the last few months.
Yeah, it's actually been 15 months of work where we went out to the community and really asked for what was most important to them about our district. And we got a set of core values at this point: safety, belonging, community, integrity, love of learning, and then a vision of a graduate as well, the skills and attributes and experiences that our community really values for each student in the district. And so we are hoping to wrap that up in October with a board approval at our regular board meeting. Lots of credit to all the advisory groups and people that contributed thoughts. Those advisory groups, students, staff, community leaders, equity, really poured over those details and tried to understand the themes that emerged from the data. And so we're excited to get that approved.
So for those who don't know, what do those values do? You know what I'm saying? You say these things, and then how are they implemented in the schools?
Yeah, great question. I think one thing that we're doing right away is just try to see what those values mean to people within the schools. So today I interviewed a couple students and asked them about belonging, and they shared, what they thought it meant, and just, the ability to feel welcome and have a community in the school. It's always a challenge, especially the first part of a year to come in, and it's a little nerve-wracking to start a school, so they thought that was a really important, way to exemplify those values. And then with the vision of the graduate, things like critical thinking, culturally competent, those kinds of attributes are just really important for us to think about as educators. So what does that mean when we're instructing within our content area, and how can we bring out critical thinking for each of our students? So I would say it's almost like a roadmap, maybe, and we have 21,000 plus students, 3,000 plus employees, so it brings some consistency and unifies our district as well, reinforces kind of what the community prioritizes, and so that's always a good thing. And I think the community and the way they come around, rally around their children, is really a sign of the strength of the community, and we're very fortunate here in Vancouver.
So there's that short kick we talked about. But, again, that's such a tough one because, August Agani, that's a tough kick because now with a short clock, 3:42, they also have a relatively short field. So
yeah. This one, because they kicked it out of bounds, Hudson made it kick it again, so that short kick was even shorter. And great field position, as you said, for Hudson's Bay, and they certainly have time to use all their arsenal of plays. And it feels like their offense has really started with a foundation of running the ball up the middle to either Bauman.
Well, who's in the backfield now? Doesn't look like either one of them. There's the pitch out. Oh, nope, that is Bauman. That is a Bauman. Big play out to the left. Great first play on that. Akil Bauman takes the pitch. I didn't recognize it was a Bauman because it looked like he was in the quarterback position. I think he was effectively the quarterback on that play.
Looks like there might have been a flag on the play holding against Bay. You can see Keel's a little frustrated with that run and then seeing it coming back. Again, Akil has really demonstrated some patience too. Even at the end of that run, he paused a bit and then cut up inside the tackler for another 5 or 6 yards. So really impressed with him to start off the school year here. He's again only a sophomore, right? So 23-yard
gain.
A lot of football left.
It's a fast family. Yep, there's the holding call.
Well, that really hurts, getting a good drive started with a great run, and now we're pushed back to our own 40. Still, I don't think time's a factor. We used one timeout already, but a couple timeouts left. 3:33 in the first half.
Yeah, you shifted to the we, I had noticed.
I need to stop.
Clever little play to Akil Bauman. Great little counter there. The entire play was going to the right. They counter it to the left with Bowman once the defense starts swinging that way.
About 15 yards there back in a real manageable second down.
Yeah, that's a really fun play. a surprise.
Yeah. Bay's really executed well, and really both teams not a lot of penalties. I know there's a holding call on this play, a couple offsides, but for the most part, both teams playing pretty clean for the first game of the year.
So Clark hands it off up the middle to the fullback. He pushes on beyond that marker, and we've got a first down. So 20 quick yards there for Hudson's Bay on 2 plays.
They got most of that back from that first run. We're now at 2:45 left in the first half.
I mean, it cost them effectively almost a minute, unfortunately.
Well, maybe that allows them to not have to kick off deep if they score again, because it took Heritage about 10 seconds to score last time.
Yeah, last one with the ball wins. So Miller takes a snap, pitches it out. Raphael Bauman on the pitch. Great little cut inside. He gets close to that first down marker, about 9 yards on the carry.
Well, they really went outside on this drive, and the success they had inside on the first 3 or 4 drives, I think, is setting up that outside. It's really open for them. Heritage might need to adjust a little. As you mentioned, that chest back and forth.
One of the unfortunate things we don't have available to us is stats. I'd love to see the rushing yards for the Bauman boys so far.
Gosh, I think it's got to be pushing 50, 75 yards, don't you think?
One would think, yeah. And handoff up the middle. Guerrero, big hole. He keeps pushing through. Alan Guerrero, his biggest run of the day. Most of those interior runs, he's been getting good stuff at the line because they've been stacking up. But then you mentioned you go outside, now you go inside.
Picks up 16 on the play. And that's enough for
He's not a fun guy to see coming
first
at you if you're the
down.
linebacker once he gets up to speed through the line.
Yeah, I think I would be looking for some help on that tackle with Talon.
So it's first and 10.
Down to 120 now
For the
in the
Eagles,
quarter, so
with
time probably
1:20
is a
in the
factor
first
now
half, and the Eagles
for the
knocking on the
Eagles.
door.
There's Talon again. Guerrero, bowls over the, that's a good bit of tackling there. He was
Yeah,
going
really
backwards
was.
when they made contact, and Dakari Bradford managed to bring him down.
Just kind of fell back with Talon. A nice little counter there, looking like they were going to go outside, and then an inside handout to Talon, and he goes up and rumbles for 6 or 7 yards.
And we have a timeout, so now it's Hudson's Bay's second timeout. Leaves one just in case they get in a pinch down at the goal line, or as they approach. So I know that we are going to be hearing more from you, Dr. Snell, come this season. You've got your interview show, which has been really fun to do, to have those student leaders come
Love
in.
that.
And I'd imagine that's a lot of fun for you to get to talk to these kids who are really impressive.
It's so much fun, and the thing I've learned is, like, it doesn't matter which kid we ask, like, every kid has got just some great ideas to share, and your team does such a good job of making them feel welcome. And so if you haven't had a chance to see some of those podcast style video, right, we really like to try to highlight some of our students.
Yeah, I'm always impressed when I meet them. You get to work with them all the time, and I only get to meet them when they come in, but high school kids
Second
can be
and
pretty
3, Eagles
inspiring.
knocking on the door.
Clark hands it off to Guerrero again. This time Heritage stuffs it.
Quick handoff goes to Talon
Clock
Guerrero.
eater there for Hudson's Bay.
Looks like they're going to try to go right back up to the line here. Maybe had 2 plays
Drop
called in that
immediately on the line of
timeout.
scrimmage.
Yeah, run it to Guerrero and
For
then
no
run
gain.
something else right away. That's smart.
3rd and 3.
Good clock management there. Officials blow that one dead. See what the flag's for.
Sometimes when we're speeding things up, not everybody gets quite set, especially in this first
before it gets started.
games of the year.
See, it looks like the officials approaching the Heritage sideline. Let them know what the penalty is. Everybody's already moved back, so it's clearly on Hudson's Bay.
Kind of think now with the ball just outside the 10 and 46 seconds and only one timeout that you might see Hudson's Bay put the ball in the air. Just gives them a few more plays, opportunities, although this is 3rd down. So got to dial up their best 3rd and 8th play here.
False start against
See
the
what
Eagles. That'll back them up 5 yards.
As we sort of guessed there.
Now it's 3rd and 8.
Of course, the clock starts on a officials whistle. So time is definitely a factor now in the end of the first half.
Back to passes Clark. He puts up a wobbly ball. There's the flag. Yeah, the defender did not turn around to address the ball there. That was Hunter Renneria, who is back in the game, feeling a lot better after that scary play down on the bottom corner. But he is called for the penalty. So,
well, and poor Hunter, the first play was out of bounds, and so it was incomplete, even though it was caught. And then this one, the ball was much shorter, and because it was underthrown, he was out of position, and the receiver did a great job of coming back to the ball and getting that penalty called.
So we're waiting for the officials to restart.
Pass is incomplete.
That was Labassiere
Intended for
again.
number 4, Nietzsche Labassiere.
Intended receiver.
So it's going to be third and about, what is that, about a yard?
It sure seems like, and I guess I'm just out of practice with my high school officiating, that ball, I guess the pass was a little short of the first down marker.
In any case, a manageable yardage here. 29 seconds left. Miller back. He floats it up to the corner. He has a man, but overthrows it.
Well, they tried to run a little pick play with Labassiere kind of doing an inside slant and freeing up that outside receiver.
Jim Hepler had his hand up. Throw it to me, throw it to me. And just was a hair over his head.
Brings up 4th and 1. Looks like Clark's checking back in, so
4th and 1.
Hudson's Bay is going to go for this.
You know, they get a first down here. If they get a first down here, they've got one timeout left. They have time to score. You know, run a couple of more plays after this.
Actually, looks like they're setting up for that field goal. Clark is also the holder, so.
Joey Roper to attempt the field goal for the Eagles.
Well, Roper is a good kicker, so this is probably a smart move if he makes it head into halftime with a lead. The kick is up. And it's good.
The kick is good. And the Grand Roper
Eagles.
takes the Eagles
Now
back
you're
on
going to kick
top.
it deep.
I don't see how you can kick it deep. I just don't
With
see it,
22
especially after the
seconds
last one.
remaining,
Yeah, with 22 seconds left.
Hudson's Bay 10.
We haven't seen
Heritage
Daly
7.
go deep yet, so we don't know, you know, if you can complete that 50-yard pass if you kick it short and give them a play or two. Well, hey, if you are with us here, stay tuned for halftime. We've got some great news from across Vancouver Public Schools, including some cool video from the first day of school, which is a lot of fun. We've got a video about a new futsal court over at Houck Elementary that just opened up. It's very exciting for the folks over there. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We also have another football game coming for you later this evening. One of the biggest matchups of the week in all of Oregon and Washington, the Jesuit Crusaders visiting the Skyview Storm. And I actually see the buses probably from Jesuit rolling in right as we speak.
Yeah.
I don't know if our camera operators can get them on the far field, but we see the buses coming in. So a fun night of opening night football here at Kiggins Bowl.
And I think I am only with you for this first half tonight, Nick. So, hey, thank you for the great work that you and the crew do bringing these opportunities to our kids and our community. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Go Eagles.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And thanks, you know, to district administrators for supporting this kind of thing because, you know, not every place does. So we do appreciate that as well.
Hey, kicked it short.
Fumble is that ball's up for grabs. Manages to fall on it. Coulter Knudsen only lost 3 seconds there. I think what you got 2 plays maybe 3.
Maybe.
The Eagles squib kick.
You got to
is
wonder
recovered
too. I mean, if I'm Coach Peterson, I'm not
by the Timberwolves,
unhappy with a
and they'll take
10-7
over
game right now.
at their own 37-yard
A
line.
turnover here or something like that with 19 seconds left, I
Make that
might be a little
36 yard.
conservative in my play call.
Sure, just take the knee. Take the positive going into halftime. Tell your guys, hey, look what we just did.
First and
Yeah,
10 for
we
the
can do it again.
Timberwolves
We can do it better.
19 seconds remaining.
Well, he's back in the shotgun, so I'm guessing we're going to see a play here.
I'm gonna throw it.
Back to pass over the middle, overthrown. But, you know, you've only lost a couple of seconds. He did take a big hit there at the end of that throw.
Flag in the secondary too. I'm not sure if maybe it was a defensive holding.
Daly's pass is incomplete. There's a flag on the play.
It was around where the incomplete pass fell. And that's the risk reward there because that ball was overthrown in the middle. And boy, if that gets picked off, that is easy going back 6 there.
See what our official has to say here. I'm guessing you're right. I'm guessing it's a defensive holding. Yep, they're all moving forward. So they lost 3 seconds, but they picked up first down, picked up a good chunk of yardage.
Now they're right around midfield. You never know. Maybe take a shot. I still like the throw maybe a little further downfield than 10 yards across the middle.
Well, but you saw that kind of penetration Hudson's Bay is getting, so I don't know if he's going to have time to set up for a play like that. Back to pass again. This ball goes over the middle, tapped, nearly intercepted. Just not a lot of time to get the throw off. That's Daly's real problem at this point. Hudson's Bay's defensive line is really pushing up in there and making life hard for the big boys. Amari Gilbert, Ty Talea, just making life tough.
They've really been, I would say, the stars of the first half of that defensive line from Bay and the offensive line from Bay. Sometimes they don't get a lot of credit, but they've really dominated here in the first half.
Yeah, we've seen Michael Brinson put some heat on there too. High snap. That ball's on the turf. Oh, nearly picked up. Did Hudson's Bay recover that? No, Heritage. That was almost a
wow.
Oh, no, it looks like Brinson holding his shoulder there. Extended himself out to try to pick up that ball, but looks like he's going to shake that off.
Heritage is ready to take this to halftime.
That was a tough end there. And it's halftime, 10-7, Hudson's Bay over Heritage. A fun football Friday here at Kiggins Bowl. I'm not sure if we're going to have halftime replays or not. I'm sure our guys will let us know. In the meantime, Dr. Snell, thanks so much for coming in. It was really fun having you, and we always like it when you come out.
I love it too. Yeah. So thanks everybody for staying tuned to these broadcasts and supporting the districts and creating these opportunities for our kids. So good luck the rest of the way, Nick.
All right, thanks. We'll see you guys in the second half. Here's some news from across Vancouver Public Schools. A lot of photos, a lot of excited kids, and a lot of happy parents. It's the first day of school, and there are a lot of other firsts across the district. Hi everybody, welcome inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Nick Vole. It's the first day of school across Vancouver, and nowhere are they more excited than here at VITA, which finally is opening as a K-5 elementary school. Last year, Vancouver Innovation, Technology, and Arts Elementary School served as a learning lab. Students from every other elementary school spent time here doing project-based learning. But now, finally, VITA is welcoming students of its own.
We are so excited. We have been working towards this for 3 years, from the planning of the school to learning about instructional methodology to hosting the learning lab for almost 7,000 kids, and now we finally have our own. So we're elated.
What are you excited for here at VITA? What are you really looking forward to?
Doing like projects with a team.
How about you, Amelia? What are you super excited for at your new school?
The playground.
How excited are you for the first day of school?
Really excited. I really like art, and this is a project-based learning school, so I'm really gonna like it.
How excited are you to have your students in this brand new school?
I'm really excited. It's a very cool school. Everything is so big and spacious and airy and light. We're really excited for it.
I'm super excited. The project-based learning is really cool. She's been talking about it all summer. I'm going to project-based learning school, and she's already really good at art, and the focus on that is really cool for us.
Of course, this isn't the only school opening today, and Superintendent Jeff Snell is trying to get to as many as he can. We caught up with him at the brand new Ruth Bader Ginsburg Elementary School. Dr. Snell was joined by school board members Sandra Zavala Ortega and Tracy Barrows, and Vancouver Education Association President Jamie Anderson. Ruth Bader Ginsburg Elementary, or RBG for short, is a Spanish immersion school. Although parts of the school are still under construction, it's welcoming in kindergartners and first graders this year as it works towards full occupancy. For administrators, seeing these young learners in action is rewarding.
I think that there's a lot of lead up that people outside of school don't necessarily know in preparing for a school year, and how excited everyone is to prepare for that school year. And then when the first day actually comes and you see the excitement of the students and the staff, some tears from families as they're dropping off little ones, all those emotions that are wrapped up into the first day is pretty special.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I think, we get stuck in a lot of meetings and a lot of just in rooms, and so to be able to go and spend time with students and see how schools are run and our staff, and just say thank you and just see the smiles on everyone's faces, I think I'm just really it makes the job worth it.
RBG is the final new school to be built as part of the bond measure passed by voters a few years ago. Dr. Snell, the VPS school board, and other district administrators split up to visit every school in the district on the first day, which has become a VPS tradition. And that's just about it for us. We know parents, you guys are excited about this first day of school and are posting on social media. We can't wait to see the photos that you post online. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Nick Bowl.
Let's get ready to cut the ribbon.
With a snip of a pair of oversized scissors, the new futsal court at Houck Elementary is open for business.
It's really fun and I love playing on it.
You know, this was just kind of a dream, and now it's here.
Hi everybody and welcome inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Nick Bowl. The new futsal court at Houck is the product of a lot of hard work, and as we discovered, the work is just beginning. Houck's back to school night drew a big crowd of parents and kids, and the highlight for many is the new court.
Liam sprinted to the end of the block to look through the fence and then sprinted back and gave me this big thumbs up like, it's ready, we're going to play tonight.
So what exactly is futsal?
A regular soccer field is grassy and it's bigger, and a futsal court is like pavement and tinier goals.
The ball is harder and like it doesn't bounce as much.
It gives kids a chance to play soccer when it's rainy out and we're not allowed to use the field.
That translates to more kids playing the beautiful game.
All you need is a pair of shoes. You don't need shin guards, you don't need to pay a bunch of club fees to play for a club. So it really is access for all kids to play.
My perspective, it does take them off of the one thing that most parents deal with is a device. So less screen time, more play time.
For me, sports was everything, right? That's how I learned to relate to others. It's how I learned to, just be a kid, and to be able to go out and express yourself, be yourself, and be in a spot where you're having fun and enjoyment. It's safe. All these things is massively important.
It took a lot of community partners to bring the court to Houck, including Operation Pitch Invasion, a nonprofit devoted to bringing soccer to kids. The Portland Timbers and Thorns, the Houck Foundation, the Vancouver West Soccer Club, Houck Parents, and many more all contributed.
The game is a community game. The game is a game for all of us, and so it's not just us as a club, but it's how we connect with the community, and I think this is as important as anything we do.
Operation Pitch Invasion has a new Clark County fund and hopes to put in 10 more courts across town. The proof of the court's impact on kids is already apparent.
I personally love soccer and I'm excited to play futsal too.
For more information on Operation Pitch Invasion, just head to their website, pitch-invasion.org. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Nick Bowl.
September through June, John Armitage teaches PE and health sciences at Columbia River High School. Over the summer, he spent a week learning what it takes to be an emergency medical technician.
Just got called out on our first call, which was interesting and eye-opening.
He's not switching careers, he's exploring what it takes to be an EMT, so that his students can pursue their dreams.
I'm armed with a lot more information after doing this.
Welcome to Learning to Work. I'm Mark Reith, Director of the Vancouver Public Schools Current Technical Education Department. Throughout the summer, we send teachers on paid externships so that they can pass along firsthand knowledge to their students.
We'll get call after call after call, right? And so you don't want to have to drive all the way back to the station, fill up, and be out of service.
When we caught up with Mr. Armitage, he was spending time at Clark County Fire District 6, having already visited the Northwest Training Center and AMR.
You always have a picture in your mind of what a job is. So it's been really neat to actually kind of learn more about these different careers, what their days are composed of, what it requires of the individuals that take on these challenges. So definitely helps to contribute to that respect that I have for first responders.
Everybody wants to know what firefighters do. It's so getting a little look behind the curtain, I think is good. It's good for him to come in and anybody else to come in and take a look at this. It's good for us to show them what we do and to kind of understand, when the bells do go off, what happens. And so, for us, it's exciting.
Mr. Armitage hopes to convey that sense of excitement and duty to his students.
in the health sciences class that I teach, EMT is one of the modules that our students work through. So I was interested in just learning more about what the career opportunities are locally with that and how students can go about continuing their education.
For students, it's important really for him to bring back just the pathway. How do you get into the fire service, right? And not even necessarily the fire service, it's any part of the pre-hospital is what he's basically looking at.
Really amazing work that is done, but can also be really challenging work.
Mr. Arberdeen is impressed with the professionals he's working with, and they're impressed that teachers like him are doing whatever it takes for their students.
I mean, this is their time off. This is their summer, and and they're extremely busy during the school year. So for them to take that time off and educate themselves in whatever field it is, I think it's amazing, and I think it just shows their dedication to the profession.
The firefighters asked us to share that students have a chance to get involved by joining the local cadet program. Cadets get firefighting training throughout the year, which prepare them for potential careers in firefighting. Students can contact Fire District 6 for more information. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark Reith.
We may be rivals, but we respect each other both on and off the field.
We are all students that enjoy our sport and love competing.
So please come out and support us, all of us.
Be appreciative of the performance regardless of the team.
Enjoy the game and cheer us on loudly.
But please,
Please.
don't cheer for the failure of the other team.
Keep chants, cheers, and gestures appropriate and positive.
No negative chants.
No negative cheers.
No negative gestures.
And never
Ever single out a player by name, number, or characteristic.
There's no place for that.
We're all in this together to learn, have fun, and compete.
Win or lose.
Demonstrating sportsmanship shows that you value all kids, not just your kid.
Oh, and those officials?
Be kind to them as well.
This isn't their full-time job.
They're all just people trying to give us the opportunity to play.
They all make mistakes just like us players and coaches.
We all know that.
But that's just part of the game.
So accept the calls they make, whether you agree or not, and move on.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
It means everything to have our friends and families in the stands.
Let's work together to make positive, lifelong memories.
We are preparing students for the future.
We are pursuing our dreams.
We are keeping our systems running smoothly so students can learn.
We are making sure the kids have the nutrition they need to learn.
We are keeping our kids safe and secure.
We are keeping our kids healthy and active.
We are ready for the future.
We are
Vancouver Public Schools.
We are Vancouver Public Schools.
Get behind the scenes and put your imagination to work. Learn how to turn your ideas into a video or movie by signing up for video production, advanced video production, or movie making. You'll work individually and in groups to write, shoot, and edit your own productions. These hands-on classes use industry-standard cameras and professional editing software and allow you to explore your own creativity and passions. Students enrolled in these classes can earn CTE or art credits. Learn to express yourself or tell another story through video. Check with your counselor or career specialist to see if this program is offered in your school.
All of our drivers that they are the face of VPS. They're the first person that kids are going to see in the morning. They're the last ones that they see.
Hello, my name is Jeff Snell and I have the honor of serving as your school superintendent. On behalf of our school board and district staff, I want to welcome you to the new school year and thank you for letting your children be a part of our district and school communities. We have been hard at work getting ready for the first day and are excited to greet more than 21,000 students. Our focus will be to maximize the learning opportunities for each one. To do that requires a partnership with you and the support of our entire community, including our students, staff, and families. This support was affirmed last year through the renewal of our school levy and more than 6,500 thoughts that were contributed as a part of our strategic planning process. Thank you. Over the next couple months, more information will come out about the strategic plan, our student-centered priorities, and how we will monitor our progress towards a shared vision of a Vancouver Public School graduate. The vision of a graduate is an aspirational description of what our community wants for each of our students. I want to share some of that vision with you. We envision our graduates will have the important learning and skills necessary to meet real-world demands, be curious learners who can persevere and adapt to changing conditions, consistently act with integrity, be effective communicators who work independently or in collaboration with others in search of informed solutions to complex problems, be compassionate and inclusive human beings who will positively influence their local and global community. Fulfilling this vision requires care at each step of the way through all grade levels. It is critical that we create safe learning environments where students feel like they belong. Our staff have intentionally planned for those experiences in preparation for the year. That includes reviewing safety protocols, creating welcoming spaces, and designing learning experiences that inspire and challenge our students on their journey. We've invested in a new communication platform called Parent Square and a student information system called Synergy or Parent View to support our strong partnership with our families. We're excited about these platforms because it will more easily allow two-way communication between our families and schools and should make it easier for families to find information from the school about their child in one consistent place. In the coming week, you will be receiving more information about the start of the year from your school and how to find and access information you may need. You can also find supporting information on our district and school websites. If you have questions, please reach out so that we can help you. A school year always has amazing opportunities to connect and build community. I encourage you to attend your school's events and check out events at other schools. We have amazing students who do amazing things in the classroom, on athletic fields, in the auditorium, and through many different activities that your support makes possible. Thank you again for being a part of our community and our district. Let's have a great year.
And we are back. Second half about to start here at Kiggins Bowl. Hudson's Bay up 10-7 over the Heritage Wolves. My name is Nick Bull. I am joined by a new partner for the second half, Paul Valencia from Clark County today. He came in to say hi, and I said, hi, you can spend the whole second half with me.
Hello,
so
and what are you doing? Well, I was on the sidelines for the first half, and I love that because I don't for the last 10 years or whatever since social media came on and you got to tweet everything. I used to be in the press box for so long. Now at Clark County Today, I'm no longer on deadline and I don't have to tweet all the time. So I'm back on the sidelines, which is great, but came up to say hello to you, and this is fun too. I love doing this.
Yeah, it's fun to talk football and pretend no one's listening, right?
Exactly.
They say dance like no one's watching, talk football like no one's listening. And usually when I talk about football, no one is listening, so it works out. So Hudson's Bay going to kick off here. Heritage to receive. We saw a spectacular return earlier in this game from Heritage. See if they try to avoid kicking it back to the young man who returned it. It was Luke Melvin who returned that first one.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think they're going to kick to him again. That was speed.
But there it is,
I thought
back to Melvin.
Yeah, I thought the big guy had an angle on him, and Melvin speed was nope.
Yeah, Melvin proven himself to be a pretty slippery returner. Gets it
the second half is underway.
And so good starting field position here for Heritage as they start the second half. What have you seen out of this Heritage offense in the first half?
Okay, well, not much. Obviously, the score was from the kickoff return, which was great for the special teams. Offense is just trying to figure it out. I mean, they've had a couple, few new coaches. I think this is the third coach in the third year. But this is Kevin Peterson's team, and if you don't know anything about Kevin, he's kind of like Mr. Heritage. He's been there forever, an assistant for a long time, then took a break from coaching, then he's back, but he's always a teacher, and he's big in the weight training. He's going to get this program moving in the right direction. Just might take some time.
I mean, he's looking to replicate what Mark Oliverio did with Hudson's Bay. As you might recall, a few years ago, Hudson's Bay enlisted the Greater St. Helens League. 2 or 3 short years later, so it can happen. It just takes time and dedication.
That is a great comparison, I would say. Yeah, and Heritage believes they can come back. They can do something in the future, and it starts right now. This is week 1, so they're just trying to get that foundation set.
We've seen this a few times. Daly trying to draw the defense. Looking over to the sidelines now to get the play call. Talon Guerrero, linebacker for Bay, looking like he might be making life difficult for the other number 9 on the field. And there he is, breaking up that play. Nowhere to go. Evan Bucky goes backwards.
You just called that. You were amazing. You saw it happen before it happened. Nick, you're the man.
Thank you, Paul. That's the only reason I wanted you in here, just to say that sort of thing.
So yeah, Heritage. If I was looking at my stats right, again, I'm on the sideline. I'm not focused as I used to be when I'm in the press box, and I got every play. Heritage didn't have a whole lot of offensive plays.
Eagle fans make some noise. It's third down.
Yeah, when you're a running team, I mean, as Hudson Bay clearly is, time of possession is pretty darn important. Little screen, nearly caught. That ball on the turf.
Broken up by Talon Guerrero.
So, we talked about this in the first half. That Hudson's Bay defensive line is just making life tough for Daly there. They're up in his business, and obviously that was a screen. They let him in a little bit, but the play still couldn't develop.
So as you know, high school, if the quarterback gets sacked, there's a rushing yard. So when you add everything up, Heritage has negative rushing yards right now. So I mean, it's just as you pointed out, the defensive line, the linebackers are just doing a great job for Hudson's Bay.
Just a snap, the whistle blows. I think Heritage is glad the whistle blew on that one. That punt only goes about 10 yards past the line of scrimmage, so they'll have another shot at it. Back to return it. We've got Kendall Thorne. See what the call is here.
I think I saw the officials trying to count how many players were on the field for Hudson's Bay. Yeah. I think that was too many men.
Still going to be 4th down though, so not too costly there. Back to punt is
That's a 5-yard penalty
Lopez, who's listed on the roster as a linebacker or offensive lineman, defensive lineman / apparently punter. I was saying earlier in the first half, you don't see a lot of punters with numbers that high. There's a good kick. He really boots that one up high. It's going to be no return for Hudson's Bay as the ball bounced, generally speaking, in a Heritage direction. They're going to down around the 25-yard line. And
That was interesting that there's no fair catch called, but the
ball's down to the 25-yard line.
It actually
Eagles are set to
could
take
have worked
over.
out for Hudson Bay if the ball bounces the other way. So,
Well, it's also dangerous. He was close. The returner was close to the ball.
Exactly.
So we'll see what they come out. Looks like William Clark coming back out at quarterback. Of course, they've been ping-ponging back and forth all night long between Clark and Michael Miller.
So I had Hudson's Bay for 151 yards rushing in the first half. And again, I'm not going to say my stats are perfect, not the way they used to be, but a lot more yards than Heritage, for example.
Well, there's some yards right there. Bowman's got a chance to go all the way if he can hit that corner. It looks like he's going to do it. Down the sidelines, Raphael Ballman, first play of the second half. That's a Hudson's Bay touchdown. We've seen Raphael Ballman do some fun things tonight and puts a punctuation there on his evening, and it's only the third quarter. You see an instant replay here. He just has the jets.
So I was on the sideline when Heritage scored. I was on the Heritage sideline when Heritage got that kickoff return, and they were so pumped because they're in a game, and that's they tied it up because it was they had just scored particularly, and they weren't in a whole lot of games last year. Heritage wasn't, so it was really good for them. And then even holding Hudson's Bay to a field goal the next, so it's 10-7. You got some hope. That one right there, I know we know it's football. It's only a 9 or possibly a 10-point game here. It's possible to come back, but it gets in your mind a little when you have a hard time scoring, which Heritage is doing. So mark that one. That could be the one, the play.
The extra point is good.
That breaks it.
The score, Hudson's Bay,
it's amazing how many
17,
things have to go right
Heritage 7.
to execute a drive. One little mistake and it kills the drive. And so, young teams that are struggling to find their offensive identity like Heritage are going to have trouble scoring. And it's just how it is. We've seen it with, we talked about Hudson's Bay a few years ago. They had the same issues, and then they had some skill players break out, and just like, Bauman here. So we have a 17-7 game. Heritage is going to get the ball back and see what they can do on offense.
And see if they kick it to, is it Melvin again?
Yeah.
Because right now Heritage's best play is get the ball in Melvin's hand.
Now, when you look at the field, actually, they've swapped their returners. Melvin was on the near side to us. He's now on the far side, and that's kind of interesting because he's had those two great returns.
Right.
And he swapped with, I can't see the second part of that number, but I'm guessing it's either Noah Ferris or Tyler Hackler. So we'll see if Roper kicks it to that same spot. When you're a right-footed kicker, you kind of pull across so it goes to the left. So it's kind of the best place for your best returner typically. But it's a pretty important weapon to have in high school, a kicker like Roper who's got a pretty solid leg, and he just scoots this one.
That's offside. Offside on the kicking team is my guess.
Those kind of kicks are fascinating to me too, because they can serve two purposes. They can prevent the return, obviously, but sometimes those get recovered. And that's what they had on their mind right there. Let's recover this thing. That's why they were offsides, I think.
Against the Eagles, that will back them up 5 yards.
Most of the Heritage players had stopped because they heard the whistle, but it is interesting that there was one Bay player that
while we have a break in the action,
cover that ball.
It is time to announce the winner of the 50-50 raffle. So get your tickets out.
His first varsity action.
The number is
eager
916-284.
There's a similar kick. This one a little deeper. It's going to coast out of bounds for a penalty, and I think Hudson's Bay is going to be able to
kickoff goes out of bounds.
Well, actually, if I'm Heritage, I make him kick, kind of like what Hudson's Bay did in the first half. Hudson's Bay gained 11 yards of field position by making
once
a kick.
again,
So
the 50-50
Heritage's offense is not going anywhere. So
is
see if lightning strikes
916-284.
So now the kicking team has ran down the field.
If that is your ticket,
so
go pick up your winnings from where you bought them.
I've seen a team do it 3 times in a row. Nope, kick it again. Kick it again.
The number is 916-284.
And you know, it's the first game of the season. These kids are in the best shape of their lives, but in 3 weeks they're going to be in even better shape.
Yes. Yep.
As the season progresses. And grateful to have a dry day here at Kiggins. It's sort of the joke with us, and it's always raining at Kiggins. It's the opposite of Hudson Stadium.
Last night I was at Washougal for the Thursday night opener. And that might be the first time in my 23 years in Clark County that I had to have rain gear for opening week.
Another great return. This one has a chance. Breaks it to the outside to the left. Great bit of running there. Late hit. See if they flag that one. Nope, looks like he was in bounds when he made contact. So great return there out of Tyler Hackler, the sophomore. Brings it all the way back to the Hudson's Bay 45-yard line.
So the 5-yard penalty actually becomes 20 because it would have been on the 35, and they just got 20 yards more.
Takes it to the Eagles' 45-yard line.
That's why you
make it take over.
The professor.
See, I know a little bit about this stuff too.
I think you know more than most about high school football. All right, so we've got back at quarterback Owen Daly looking to make something happen, the sophomore lefty. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Little pitch out. About 3 there for Luke Melvin, the speedster. It's kind of an unusual bit of motion there. He motioned to the quarterback, stepped back behind the quarterback, then received the pitch out on the other side.
Yeah, I think you just got to try anything different right now because, let's face it, the traditional blocking, the traditional schemes aren't working for Heritage tonight. It's going to take some time.
You know, we saw quite a bit in the first half. The first couple of possessions, the little swing passes out to the receivers on the outside, but we haven't seen as much of that lately. I'm curious if they're going to come back to it. Again, another kind of little funny motion there, and this time it's a Heritage first down. Great bit of running up the middle there. Yeah. Evan Buckman on the carry.
Number 3, Evan Buckman on the carry.
That kind of movement changes the defense. The defense is reacting to it, and then boom, they go right up the middle.
Just give them an extra little something to think about. Another player to track. Some changes here for Hudson's Bay. They get a little smaller on the front line. Another bit of motion there. This time he motions back out. Looks like we're going to get a little pass. Tries to swing it. A lot of traffic, and that ball sails out of bounds.
I also think it was an illegal formation, so even if that had been caught, I think it's coming back. We'll see.
Because he didn't get back set, or because he was off the line of scrimmage?
I didn't see what the penalty was. I just saw the flag immediately, and in high school football, I know it's not offside because they would call it immediately. So there it is, legal procedure.
Start. I think they said maybe he wasn't set when he...
It's not a false start because they blow that one dead too. So it's a procedure or formation. It's the same. You
can't see us.
But you can't see us, but we're doing the travel call. Travel call if we're doing basketball. That's false start, or it's also could be illegal procedure or illegal formation. So, and it's different than illegal motion, which is another. Again, you can't see us, but we're dancing up here.
You can trust us. You probably don't want to see either one of us dancing. Although, Paul, I bet you've got some rhythm.
If you put some prints on, I will. I don't know if I'm good, but I will move.
There's an open man downfield. Kind of hung it up there just a bit too long. He gave the defender, Raphael Baumann, time to get back underneath the play and break it up.
That was a really good recovery play by Baumann. Yeah, it looks like he's got a cramp too. So I'm hoping that's what that is. As I speculate, I hope. I hate speculating on injuries, but let's face it, we've all seen that before, where a guy grabs the foot and starts pushing.
And it's a hot, muggy day. It's a perfect condition, and it looks like they're stretching him, so it's almost certainly a cramp.
Yep.
They're extending that
by the way,
leg
when
out.
I came in here and said, sure, I'll come and talk to you, I didn't expect the booth to be 98 degrees. So, yes, thanks a lot.
Yeah, sorry about that. No air conditioning.
I'm bringing a fan next time.
We've got a heater, but we don't have an air conditioner. Yeah, it looks like they're stretching out Baumann, so be just a moment, and he'll hopefully pop up here. Looks like they're getting him up right now. Actually, they're just dragging him off the side as he stretches out.
Yeah, that's still. If you're going to do it, you got to move him a little further than that, I think.
Yeah, just kind of beyond near the about 5 yards out of
The
bounds.
officials are going to let it go. It looks like. I am surprised, but
so
I guess he's far enough away.
2nd and 15 now, as they look to get going again. Daly out of the shotgun. Kind of the same formation we've seen out of them all night. Hands it off up the middle. Good bit of space there.
Got the penalty yardage back.
So a manageable 3rd and about, I'd say 9. Well, actually, a 3rd and about 11. I was a little off there. We haven't seen them go downfield too often. That pass a moment ago. So see if they can manufacture something here. Pick up that first down. This is 4-down territory, though, I guess, so they don't need it all here.
Long 10 for Heritage. Make some noise, it's 3rd down.
Kind of lofts it up there. I feel like he might have had something developing there if he had just held on to that ball a fraction longer.
Right, and all 3 receivers turned their heads and didn't know where the ball was, but the ball was already on the way. So yeah,
that seems like a week 1 problem.
I'm not blaming the quarterback, not blaming the receivers. Don't know who to blame, as they say.
Just one of those timing things are going to work out over this season.
Yeah, someone is to blame. I don't know who it is. It was not your normal looking pass play.
Yeah, I think just the calendar is who you blame for that one.
Yeah.
All right, so 4th and 10, they're calling it. Bay with a good push, pretty looking ball, but way out in front of the receiver, and I don't think he had him no matter what, even with a more accurate throw.
That was just a good defensive, design right there. The defensive backs were all in position right there. So if he would have threaded the needle, tried to get to his receiver, I'm guessing it would have been deflected, maybe even intercepted. On 4th down, sometimes you want to just give your receiver a chance no matter what. Yeah, even if it is intercepted, as long as you make a tackle there, it's not the end of the world. You're giving up the ball anyway. But in that case, it just, why don't we just say good defense to Hudson's Bay as opposed to tough play by Heritage's offense.
Yeah, Owen Daly showing he's got the arm when he's able to get his feet under him, which he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to do tonight. So crowded line here. Clark hands it off up the middle. Good bit of running space there. We have a new running back in the game. That's going to be Malachi Hodges. 9 on the play. Good bit of 1st down running there for Hudson's Bay. And this does feel like one of those games where, it's a running team, not a lot of success early on, or not big plays. You just sort of wear down the defense and then break one like we saw at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. See if that happens. I'm getting into this. I'm trying to predict things. I had success once, and now I think I can do it again. I don't know if I can. A little razzle-dazzle out of Miller, but he's got nowhere to go. Defense swarms all over him, drops him down. I don't know if that was a broken play or a series of fakes. It was kind of hard to tell.
I think it was a play action, and Heritage didn't bite. I want to say it was that.
Yep, just good pursuit there is really the case there. We saw
number 56,
Jaden Compton.
Jaden Compton didn't get the sack there, but he made the play. And that's what I always tell people, this is the greatest team sport ever made. Compton will not get a stat there, but he blew up the play and forced the quarterback to go somewhere he didn't want to go, allowing a teammate to get the sack. And so congratulations to Compton. You're not in the stat book, but you made a play and your coaches will notice it.
Clark rolls out here to his left, trying to make something happen. Nowhere to go again for him. He's taken down for another loss. So good pursuit out of that Heritage defense. This time it's going to be the sophomore, Isaiah James, with the tackle. We've seen him in the backfield on offense, and now he's in the Hudson's Bay backfield making plays on defense.
Sophomore, week 1. Again, there is some hope for the future at Heritage, and it's, again, starting right now. They got a guy who loves Heritage. It's always great when your head coach is a guy who loves his school, and Kevin Peterson does.
You can.
He's got roots.
And he's going to stick around, and that's one of the problems, too, sometimes with struggling high school programs. You get these series of coaches who come and go. He's not going to go anywhere because he's a Heritage guy, and that means something. So Hudson's Bay back to punt. High snap, pulled in by Roper. Kicks an end over end, low kick, takes a Bay bounce, takes several Bay bounces. Be down around the 21-yard line. So a good punt out of Roper, good stand out of Heritage, and they're going to have the opportunity to try to put some points on the board.
Shout out to the Heritage defense. Gave up a huge play on, early in the quarter, and then, got it. What was that, a 3-and-out? It was a 3-and-out, wasn't it? Yep.
Yeah, a good first play. They picked up 9 on the first play and then lost yards the subsequent 2. Not a lot of quit in this Wolves team, I'll say that. I mean, and they're only down 10 points, so.
Yep. They've got confusion with linemen and who's going to be the guard and who's going to be the tackle. You don't see that very often. So, again, week 1, it happens.
There's that little swing out to the wide receiver, trying to make something happen. He's got some blocking. Just not quite enough to string it out there. Hudson's Bay manages to keep him to about 2 yards there. One of those plays, it looks like you need one block to spring it, but the block wasn't there.
Yep.
I noticed on the coaching staff for the Eagles this year, one of my favorite Hudson's Bay players of all time, Marcus Cadiz.
I remember that name. Oh yeah, I remember that name.
I tried to get the nickname the Magic Man for him, but he already had one. I don't remember what it was, but.
The most intriguing assistant coach for Hudson's Bay, though, is 2-time state champion head coach Rick Steele of Hawkinson. Rick Steele is on Hudson's Bay staff this year. And if Mrs. Steele is listening, hello, first of all. It's Paul. You remember me. And I just want to say thank you for letting your husband coach again, even if it is just so the deal was he was going to retire and they're going to travel, and they did that. They did a lot of traveling last year. He did take a year away, but he missed football, so now he's back, and he graduated from Hudson's Bay many moons ago. So now he's an assistant coach at his old school. That's
awesome.
He's 2-time state champion at Hawkinson, and so it was great to see Rick Steele in pregame today.
That's one of those things, too. You can't step away from the game, but you don't want all the pressure and all the work. So you get to be around the game. You get to make an impact with kids, which is why all these guys are coaching, right?
Right.
But, just on a little bit smaller scale. And a great bit of running there.
Is that Isaiah again? I don't know.
Isaiah James with the run right up the middle, and that's a Heritage first down. He's a big guy.
You got a sophomore who looks like that, who can run like that and play defense like we just saw. Oh, man, there's hope for the future.
Yeah, and a
I
sophomore
keep saying
quarterback.
that. I know. I keep saying that, but
isn't that high school football though? I mean, it's you got kids coming through every 4 years.
Right.
There's always hope for the future. So first and 10 from the 36-yard line. Another handoff to James, bounces it off the right tackle. He's got some space. Wow, great bit of closure there. Oh, looks like we got a flag of some sort. I didn't see what the play was, but Akil Bauman closed ground quickly to stop that run. Looks like they went face mask to face mask on that play, and I'm not sure what the call is going to be. Looks like holding on the offense. Okay. Watch the ball, didn't watch the blockers there.
I don't see where the flag's on the 45, but the ball, it finished on the 42, so they should go from the 10 yards from the 42. I'm a stickler for stats and high school rules with stats and penalties, and this year is so different in a great way. We didn't see it happen yet in the first half, I don't think, but now holding behind the line of scrimmage is not a spot foul in high school. It's the college and pro rules.
Let's see if we can spot it here. I didn't see it anywhere on that replay.
It was above, because the flag lands right there on the 45, so I don't know what they saw. But anyway, they marked it correct, 10 yards from where the end of the run was. But if you're in a pass play now this year and your left tackle holds 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, the penalty will be from the previous line of scrimmage, just like the NFL.
He dropped. That was almost something special there. That was a great throw from the sophomore, though. He put it right in a tough spot. He was backing up as he made the throw.
Yep. Melvin wishes he had that one again. I'm sorry I talked too much. I talked into that play. But
no, it's interesting. You're more on top of this stuff than I am.
So, it used to be what would be considered a 16-yard penalty. If you held 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, the penalty was from the point of impact, the point of the penalty. So it, in essence, became a 16-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Too severe in high school, too severe in any level. But in the NFL and pros, it's from the previous line of scrimmage. So last night, that was the first time this year because it's the new rule. So it happened immediately. It happened really early, and I was like, oh, I forgot about the new rule. So that was easy to. But then later in the game, they actually had a run play, and the flag was beyond the line of scrimmage, and they forgot, and they went back to the previous line of scrimmage. So the offense actually lost a few yards that they should have. But they'll figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, this is the referees, and it's their first game of the year, too.
Right.
I'm always impressed by high school referees. It's a pretty thankless job, and I'm always impressed by the professionalism with which they approach it.
Yep.
Another little screen up the middle here. There's some space. Ooh, he's going to get awfully close to that first down. Evan Buckman on the reception and the rumble forward.
That's 4th and 2 now, and in a game like this, looks like they're bringing the punt team out, but I would have loved to have gone for it here, just to give a little energy boost.
Yeah, give it to James and see if he can move that line just a smidge.
And who knows, maybe they're going to try something tricky.
I would love to see some week 1 trickery. Another high snap, nearly gets over his head, manages to pull it down and pulls off a pretty good kick.
That was a great play by the punter.
Angles it away from the returner, so no return. It's a Heritage roll and down to the 21-yard line. You can't ask for much more than that. We've seen a lot of high snaps tonight.
One of my nicknames is Positive Paul. That was Positive Nick. It doesn't really, it's not alliterative, but he angled it from the receiver. He didn't do anything. He just kicked it as fast as he could because the snap was so bad. He was probably afraid it was going to be blocked. I don't think he aimed it anywhere. He just wanted to kick it, and it was a great kick. So, it turned out great, but the play was just making sure the ball didn't get over his head, and then he got the punt off before the rush could get to it. But no, I like how you said it better. He angled it on purpose away from the punt returner.
Apparently, I briefly had the nickname Negative Nick, so Positive Paul and Negative Nick over here makes neutral, I think, is the answer. No, I often think that the best, as an athlete, the best you can do is when you just turn your brain off. Most of the time.
Yes.
Good bit of running there. So Keel Bowman on the carry there. 2:21 left here in the third quarter. Hudson's Bay looking to extend that lead out.
2nd and 2 for the Eagles at their own 30-yard line.
Getting some of the younger players in here. Hodge is back in.
Off in the distance, the Skyview Storm have shown up. That is, for the 8 o'clock game.
Let's see Bauman on this replay here. Rumbling and stumbling and fumbling forward. Pitch out. Here's Bauman. Gets a great block. He's got some space. Can he turn on the Jets? Here he goes. All the way to the house. Akil Bauman. Says, Raphael, you can do it. I can do it too. Another long run for a score for Hudson's Bay. I think once he got that big block on the left side, that was all he needed to go. You'll probably see that on the replay. I believe it was a wide receiver.
I mean, it had time for all the blocks to be set up, and I think it was one-on-one with all the blockers. There's three defenders, 3 blockers, maybe even 4 blockers, and it was just a really, really well-designed play.
And here's the extra point. Roper boots it through the uprights. He's got some leg on him, Roper. And it is now 24-7 Hudson's Bay. I have a feeling that's the kind of offense we're going to see a lot out of Hudson's Bay this year. A lot of short runs up the middle followed by punctuations of long runs on the outside by those 2 speedsters.
Yeah. Break down the defense, make them tired, boom, 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 and then bam. So, as I had mentioned, and I don't want it to sound too negative on Heritage, it's just Heritage never scored more than 1 touchdown in a game last year. So we know the offense has been struggling, and again, a new coach, new system, all that stuff, it's going to happen. Which is why when I said when it was 17-7, that might have been the shot, because it's just so hard to score right now for Heritage. Today, and we know today's touchdown was special teams, not on offense. So 24-7 may not be a game that, Heritage is going to come back to win, but they can use the next quarter and 1 minute and 43 seconds. So what, 16? I'm doing pro rules. So 13 minutes and 43 seconds. Get something going. Maybe get a score. Maybe get 2 scores or whatever. And just try to get some momentum and build for next week and the week after and the week after. And again, for these juniors and sophomores, they're thinking beyond too. Let's do something now to make a better 2024-25. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not giving up on the season at all. I promise you that. It's just that's what you got to think of in the next quarter and a minute or so, is that you've got to work on things. Even if you don't win this game, you can still have a good week 1.
Absolutely, yeah, because you're seeing these little moments that almost click. You keep pounding away. Next week they do click. That pass over the middle isn't dropped. That big play isn't called back because of a holding penalty. Just things like that have a cumulative effect.
And then watch Heritage come back and win this game, and everyone can laugh at me for what I just said. Like, you had no faith in me.
I've seen crazier things.
Yeah, we have seen crazy things. I've been on this air watching Camas and Skyview, and you think Skyview's going to win, and they don't, or something like that. It just we've seen a lot of stuff over the years.
I remember that game. That was a wild game, and I very rarely do I go home shaking my head, but that one was.
Well, the one we're talking about last year. I mean, you got the Skyview fans yelling, "It's all over! It's all over!" And I'm on the air going, "You guys don't know anything about this rivalry if you're thinking this game's over. Camas is not done," and then boom, it was all Camas the rest of the way. So I was like, sorry, Skyview, I didn't mean to jinx you, but your fans might have jinxed you instead. So
that's funny.
But
speaking of Camas, I saw paper maker great Jack Coletto made the practice squad for the 49ers.
Yes, he did.
Very exciting.
Yes, he scored a touchdown in the preseason too. That was cool.
Talk about a guy who bet on himself. He committed to a smaller school, decided to try to walk on at Oregon State, and here he is pursuing an NFL career. Pretty amazing. So back to pass. There's that swing out. Good bit. Just enough there. He didn't get the tackle, but as you mentioned, just enough on defense there from, I think it was Maishan Cadiz on the play.
Davis' pass is complete.
Held up the receiver just long enough for his teammates to arrive. I might be wrong about the defensive player.
Here we go.
I thought it was number 23. Nope, number 32. Had it backwards. That was Max von Humison.
And then a 75. Give me
Amari
75.
Gilbert.
Okay, I love a big number 75. What a hustle play. He's tackling a wide receiver 15, 20 yards away from where he lined up. So I love that.
Oh, nearly intercepted, in and out of the hands. Nietzsche Labossiere almost pulls that one in. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and long here for Heritage.
Yeah, I think they'll decline the penalty. I think it's going to be another formation penalty because that flag came right when the snap started. So a formation or procedure or something is my guess. But again, that previous play, Amari Gilbert, I mean, big 75 chasing down a wide receiver screen. You got to love that pursuit. That's going to look great on film for the coaches when they get to show that off.
Yeah, this is a very big and active front
illegal.
4.
Oh, that could be. Is that equipment? Is that possible? Like a mouthpiece wasn't on.
Oh wow.
Wasn't in. Wasn't that could be that. So that is also a snap. I mean, a penalty that comes right at the snap. I don't know exactly what that call is, but that's my guess. Equipment.
And the result here for Heritage is another shot at it. It's 3rd and 10, a little bit more manageable than the 3rd and 15. So let's see what Daly does here. Looking to pass. He's got some options. He goes over the middle. That ball over. No, he's caught it. Great bit of adjustment there. I thought that ball was overthrown, and we see a flag come in late. I'm guessing that's going to be a personal foul.
I think it was a little targeting at the end there. I don't know if it was helmet to helmet, but it was the receiver was clearly in the grasp and was going down, and there was a shot at the end there from Hudson's Bay, I believe. But hey, by the way, let's give a shout out to the Heritage offensive line. That was the best protection the quarterbacks had all game. And then the quarterback made it happen. And I think there might be one more play.
Yeah.
Yep, helmet to helmet.
Helmet to helmet, yep. So Tyler Hackler, we didn't say his name on that play, but you heard me say it. I thought that ball was overthrown. Hackler made a great adjustment to turn his hips, get over and make that play.
Right. I'm trying to figure out if there's going to be one untimed down because the penalty was on the defense, so one untimed down to end the third quarter.
Here's the play right here. Throws it deep, makes that catch. So, yeah, he's in the grasp, and here comes that bad hit right there. Yep. Yeah. It's too high, and it's too late. That was Travis Blackman with the penalty. So I think you're right. I think we're going to have one untimed down here. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. So this is what we're talking about. Heritage making plays.
Mm-hmm.
Another screen up the middle. Nobody there. Another flag comes flying in.
That's illegal touching. It was number 53 who touched the ball was thrown to number 53. So I'm guessing that in the NFL it's called illegal touching.
Yeah, because number 9 was right there, but behind the offensive lineman, and it hit number 53 in the back of the leg. That was Amari Lopez who took the ball off the back there, off the calf, I think. Saw a little bit of extracurricular going on after that play, and August DeGagne for Hudson's Bay ran in and pulled his guy out, said, none of that. So a good bit of leadership there out at DeGagne, the senior wide receiver and linebacker. Officials talking it over here. That will be the last play of the third quarter. Team's marching off the field here. So at the end of 3, looks like they're waving that flag off because I believe number 9, Owen Daly threw it, and he had a receiver in the area, Luke Melvin.
Got it.
So at the end of 3, it's 24-7. Hudson's Bay with the lead. Looking to close out strong here against Heritage. Hopefully we may have some highlights here for you.
At least 2 for Hudson's Bay, right?
Exactly.
75-yard run and a 70-yard run.
And so, we hope that you are enjoying this game today. We've got one more for you, some great news for you. Jesuit of Portland coming up to visit Skyview. This is going to be a fun matchup. I can't wait to see these two teams, both teams with reasonable expectations of deep playoff runs.
Absolutely.
One of the best programs in Oregon versus one of the best programs in Washington. I cannot wait to call this game. I can't wait to see it, and we hope you stick around and come back to us at 8 p.m. to watch that game. Paul, what do you expect out of this matchup later on?
Well, I'm looking forward to just seeing Skyview because I think it's one of the best teams in Skyview in years, and they've had some good teams. So, here's some highlights.
So there's the first touchdown. Raphael Bauman says, "Try and catch me." That's a long touchdown. You can see at the end he's gasping for air. And then here's the next touchdown. This one, Akil Bauman gets the great block there. And you know who made that big block on the outside is the name we've been calling Talon Guerrero. We are back in action in the field, and this pass is incomplete. Sorry, guys. I talked a little bit too much. They were waiting for me to shut up before they ran those replays. That's my fault.
Well, they also went really quick on that quarter change.
So second down here is third down.
Yeah, so when they wave the flag, it's still just an incomplete pass, that last one. And illegal touching, I don't know what the rule is in high school, but in the NFL, illegal touching is it's an incomplete pass. It just means that if they actually caught the ball, you can't do it. But So maybe it's the same in high school. It's like there's no yardage penalty. It's just, they throw the flag to make sure people know that you can't throw it to a lineman.
So handoff up the middle. Here's James. He gets to break it out to the right side, looking for that corner, but he's not going to quite get to the flag there, or to the
7 yards. That
first
helps.
down marker. So, this is a doable fourth down. They've really got to like what they've seen out of James so far today. A few pretty impressive runs.
4th and 3 for the Timberwolves.
So 4th and 3.
As they're knocking on the door at Hudson's Bay.
They got 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Evan Buckman in the backfield. Looks like a false start.
Okay.
That's rough.
Couple of rough things right there is that Heritage didn't notice that Hudson's Bay had a guy coming off the field really slowly, and they're already lined up. I wish the quarterback had seen it and been able to just go, get set, and then you snap it, it's offsides, or 12 men on the field or whatever. And then they compound that, but when they didn't do that, and then they did get ready in a false start. So there's those are things that you can teach. A long time ago, Steve Kaiser, coach at Skyview, told me this. All the coaches say it now, but he was one of the first ones who told me this, is that you make your best improvements between week 1 and week 2 in the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, do you know, did these teams play jamborees or anything like that earlier this season?
I'm sure. Incomplete pass on 4th down, right? And no penalty? There we go. So Hudson's Bay defense gets off the field again. I'm sure they did. I wasn't at their jamborees or anything like that. I mean, the biggest jamboree was West Lynn, defending state champions in Oregon, coached by John Eagle, former Camas coach, went to Camas.
Oh, wow.
And they had a jamboree there. So that was pretty flippin' amazing to have John Eagle back at Camas. So
and 2 great football teams.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, who else was at that jamboree? Do you remember?
Oh, I am drawing an absolute blank right now. I think it was another Portland school, maybe Grant. I don't know. And then I think Mountain View.
Mountain View. Those are fun. The jamborees are fun, but I don't know how much you can tell from those because they're so short.
Yeah.
And nearly intercepted, in and out of the hands. Ramon Garrison nearly pulled that one down. Great bit of pressure out of the backfield, or into the backfield rather, for Heritage.
I know that name. His dad's a playwright. He's also the principal at Heritage.
He did the I Know the Play you're talking about.
He wrote the play, Wrestling the Musical. I think it's called Wrestling the Musical.
I saw that. I mean, I didn't see the play, but I saw that he had written one.
It was amazing. Well, I mean, I enjoyed it, and I just thought it was what a great, fun idea for a high school play. And then they did a great job of performing it, the theater group at Heritage High School last year.
So handoff off the middle, breaks a tackle. Raphael Bauman bounces it to the outside. Picks up about 8, so it'll be a pretty decent 3rd down opportunity here for Hudson's Bay. Nearly broken up in the backfield, but we said this earlier. You can't bring down those Bauman boys with arm tackles. They just keep that forward momentum going. Yeah, 3rd and 2 here. 10:56 remaining in the 4th quarter.
I just heard whistles. I don't see what I see. I don't know. Oh, timeout.
I don't know if our crew is ready for this because we didn't talk about it before, but we do have a lot of students working on this broadcast tonight. If we can do our crew cam segment now, that would be awesome. I'd love to see the kids working on this show tonight if we could do it. I'm putting them on the spot here, but we ask them to come out from their video production programs from all 6 of our high schools here in Vancouver Public Schools. The teachers do a great job of getting them ready and getting them to come out and tell them what the program's about, teaching them the basic skills, and then they come out and just rock it. So really shout out to our crew here tonight. They're doing a fantastic job, and they're going to be back with us here for the 2nd game tonight. It's a long day for these guys. They don't get paid. There's our crew in the booth right now.
Boom.
Waving high. And we've got camera operators, too. We actually have more kids than positions tonight, which is a fun problem to have.
Great problem to have.
They get opportunities on different positions like cameras, and if you stick around for the 2nd game, we'll show those camera operators too, I'm sure. Swings it out, 1 man to beat. Cannot do it. Great bit of open field tackling. Wow, Evan Buckman. I don't think that's the defensive lineup that Heritage would have preferred, but Evan Buckman made the play.
Was that number 2?
I believe that was Evan Buckman.
Okay.
No, you're right. It was Hunter Renneria.
I just want to make sure.
Thank you. No, you're absolutely right. Sorry about that, Hunter.
Yep.
I think when I get these programs, I need to
first of all,
blow them up because I have old man eyes.
The Heritage program they've got I'm old, you're not old, I'm old, but the numbers are shaded in black on the roster that we have. It's really hard to see the numbers.
Good bit of kicking there out of Roper, low, but called for a fair catch. I think I'm almost your age, Paul. I don't know if I'm much younger than you, but so 10:06 here to go in the game. Eagles up 24-7 over the Timberwolves of Heritage.
I have a child who's going to be a senior in high school if the Evergreen School is ever open.
I'm sure that they will.
And
hopefully
you have
they'll have
who's considerably younger. So I'm going to say that I'm older than you.
Well, my child today was his first day of kindergarten. So my son is officially a school kid, a student. I'm very excited for him. Got some fun pictures from my wife as he came home from school, high-fiving the teacher. So it was pretty fun to see. Also, shout out to my wife. It's our anniversary, and here she is. She's letting me do football on our anniversary. So my wife, Marissa Moneyhun.
That's funny because I told you before I came on at halftime of the game that our anniversary, my wife and I's anniversary is in February, in the middle of what would be basketball practice and all that. So she knew, and we knew when we got married it was going to do this, but how many times I was up in the Tacoma area for either state wrestling or state gymnastics or playoff basketball on our anniversary. And it's like, hey, whatever.
She didn't want to come up and hang out at the Tacoma Dome with you?
No.
Wow, surprising. Another out there. Ooh. Kind of let that one go. One of those tackles, it starts in bounds and just kind of keeps going as it goes there. That was Jacob Karpiak on the catch.
That reminds me, since I put it on Twitter earlier today, I'm gonna let me go find it because I want to get the name right from the guy from Washougal last night. I want to give a shout out to, and I want to make sure I get his name right. So after this play.
Yeah, I saw that tweet you're talking about. It's pretty cool. Great run up the middle. That's a first down. Evan Buckman, and it was Evan Buckman this time.
Yes, it was. So Prescott Lenhart, and I hope I'm saying it right. Prescott Lenhart of Washougal football. Being on the sidelines again, I get to see some things that you don't always see, and I'll wait. It looks like Heritage doing hurry up, so I'll shut up about Washougal right now.
Another handoff to James up the middle. Good team tackling there. Looked like Michael Stump on the initial contact.
So here's the third quarter. River Ridge quarterback is scrambling. He's in the grasp. He isn't out of bounds yet. He's inching, fighting for like another yard, maybe another foot or two, but he's not going anywhere. And Prescott came up and could have just crushed him. Could have destroyed it. And he's in bounds, so it might even be a legal play. Although when you do that, you still run the risk of getting a penalty. No, he didn't crush him. He put himself in position to be a safety valve if needed, if the quarterback escaped. And that's good for the game. You don't have to crush your opponent just because you can.
Yeah. The point of football isn't hitting people, it's making plays. And that's not a great play to make, right?
Yeah. You put the official in a position, do I have to make a call there? Even, the quarterback was not going anywhere. If you crush him, the penalty might happen, even if it's a, quote, legal play, or whatever.
Right.
But even without that, you just don't need it. He could have come over and just grabbed him again or whatever, but the main thing he didn't do is crush the guy when he was in a vulnerable position. And I just thought someone should notice that. So I put it on Twitter and hope he sees it.
Those inspirational moments from high schools. Wow, another big tackle there out of Talon Guerrero. That guy just knows where to be.
That was. Remember Clowney in college? The Clowney hit in college. That's what that kind of looked like. Is like where the defensive guy knew where the running back was going to be before the running back knew where it was going to be. Boom.
And we've seen that a lot out of Guerrero tonight. He's been so important on offense and, on defense and on offense as that fullback. Here it is right there. Just come on. So 4th and 7. Looks like we've got a penalty here. Another flag. Kind of seen a lot more of those here in the second half. Wonder how much of that's just fatigue or...
Now, that's you can get someone to jump off in the first quarter, fourth quarter, week 1, week 9, week 14, whatever it is. It happens almost in every game. You get, especially if you are going on one all game long and then you finally go on two, and all it takes is one guy to be fooled. And
ooh, stuffed.
Great defense.
Hudson's Bay.
The second effort was great, but it's still not good enough to get the first down. It is going to be first down Hudson's Bay. Yep, they've already signaled it. They don't even need to measure. So.
Yeah, just another example of that great push we've seen all night long from that defensive front of Hudson's Bay. Watch this. Just initial contact, pushing through. I mean, you look at trying to find his number there.
And the Eagles stop him.
Yeah, that was Ty Talea again. Just doing Ty Talea things, I mean, he was blocked and he made the tackle. Yep. It was good blocking.
Well, let's also give a little bit of shout out. Heritage offense did show some life in this half, even after getting behind. So they have shown some progress. For hopefully they can make improvements for week 2.
Little end around here. Great bit of running, a lot of space. First down, Hudson's Bay. So Raphael Bauman keeps those chains moving. Just watching him run makes me feel tired. Started on the left hash mark, came all the way across to the right hash mark. He ran 50 yards to gain 9 or 11. Just good. He's just got good, light, active feet. It's fun to watch players like that run. So into the game here, Michael Miller. I'm curious if this is the strategy for Hudson's Bay this year, just rotating those quarterback, or if this is the opportunity for them to show what they can do moving forward. It'll be fun to watch them, and we do have them on our schedule a couple more times this year to see how they do. So there's a Kielbauman with the carry, close to a first down. Well, not that close, I guess, about 3 yards short.
But you'll take 7 yards on first down every time?
Yep, every single time. And speaking of our schedule, we have a ton of games this year. We typically do 5 or 6 games a year. We've brought it out to 10 this year. We're very excited about that.
I know I'm going to be broadcasting at least one of them. Well, obviously more than one since I'm here right now. But we planned for, was that Union Skyview, I think?
Yep, Union Skyview. And you're welcome here anytime, Paul.
Thank you. I love doing this. So with Union Skyview, that's going to be special because I do a podcast. We call it the Clark County Today Sports Podcast because we're not original enough to come up with a better name. But Tony Liberatore of assistant principal, I don't know how you call it, but at Fort Vancouver.
Sure.
And a former AD in Vancouver schools. And then Cale Pyland, who's the AD for Evergreen Schools. So we do a podcast. And what I like about our podcast is it's not just me being dumb. It's me with 2 experts in
dumb.
But they're administrators. They know the... kind of what's going on in the meeting rooms of, making schedules, making playoff brackets and things like that, and WIA decisions. They know why it's done and how. So it's kind of fun. So that's my little commercial for our podcast. We go every 2 or 3 weeks, and we're going to record next week after these first week of games, and we'll do something. But the 3 of us are going to come in here and do a game, but it'll also be kind of like a podcast because we'll all be talking about all kinds of whatever's going on at that time.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. We actually added an extra announcer position this year.
Sweet.
Just for that exact scenario. So I'm really excited to have you guys come in. And Tony's always really fun to listen to talk football. And Cale Pyland obviously is a local football expert. As there's another touchdown for Hudson's Bay. Akil Bauman with his second on the night. Just moving forward, always with the Baumans. And it is 30-7, Hudson's Bay. I'm going to see that touchdown run. Just picks his hole, runs through it. You can kind of see him making up his mind in the backfield which way he was going to go, and got a good block and used it wisely.
And if you're a Heritage fan, you might look at the score and go, oh. But you know what? They played with a lot of heart in that first half. They had some good stops because Bay got some good long drives, but that stopped. But offense needs work for Heritage, but the heart is there. You could see the heart was there, and the score is going to look worse than what it was. It was 10-7 at halftime.
Yeah. And you saw 2 big plays sealed the deal effectively for Hudson's Bay. Now, you didn't see it on your screen there, but the extra point was good, so it's now 31-7. This might be one of those times now where Hudson's Bay might let some of those younger players kind of get some reps here. And, we see injuries all year long in sports and football in particular, so it's kind of nice to get some reps in early on in the season here.
Right.
Well, shoot, I might as well let you know that next week we've got more football coming your way. As I mentioned, we do have plenty of games this year. So next week we're going to be back here at Kiggins Bowl with Hoquiam versus Fort Vancouver at 5 p.m. Columbia River and Skyview, one of the best, most fun rivalries, although it's been pretty lopsided the last few years. We still have the one crazy play from about 6 years ago where Columbia River won at the last second.
The older we get, the harder it is to figure out time, because I think that's been 10 or 12 years. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, totally.
But you can look it up because it's still ESPN Columbia River Skyview. If you look up Google that, it made ESPN. That's how crazy the play was.
Right? So. Yeah. We did a story on it, and it's one of our most popular YouTube posts ever. It's,
right.
I want to say it's almost 100,000 views on our story, and which is pretty good for us. So. Yeah, it was one of the wildest plays you'll ever see, and we're going to have them next week. I don't know if we'll get that kind of fireworks, but it'll be a fun game no matter what. I guarantee you the student sections will be going crazy.
And I can guarantee you, though, if Skyview ever blocks a field goal on the final play of the game again, they will not run off the field until someone jumps on that ball. They are coached every year from that game on, since that happened. Someone go get the ball.
Yeah, and as I recall, that loss, was kind of emblematic of their problems that year. So,
It's just crazy.
Stings a bit more to lose to Columbia River when they're your crosstown rivals.
Right.
Looks like
I think Bay called timeout before that. They're doing exactly what you said they're going to do. Let's get some young guys in there. Let's get some new. So nobody. I think they had 9 guys on the field instead of 11, and hey, run out there right before the snap. So
that's what your timeouts are for, right?
Yeah, that's right. When it's 31-7, that's exactly what they're for. Yep. Let's get some guys in there. Position them, tell them where they're going. Make a tackle, make a play, get your name called by Nick.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. That's what the kids, that's why they play. They hear me say their name. It's interesting, we see down at the far end, this practice field, the Jesuit team doing its warm-ups on the far field for the next game, how much bigger the big school rosters are than these smaller schools. So it's interesting to me how much the smaller schools have to squeeze out of the kids they've got. You see a lot more two-way players, for example, which isn't to say the players are less talented or anything like that. It's just you have fewer of them. So you see somebody, and this is kind of a cool thing, I think, sometimes too, like Talon Guerrero, who's starring on both sides of the ball and really showing what he can do on offense and defense. And you don't see that as much with the big schools. You see a little more specialization. So it kind of reminds me of kind of one of the fun things about high school sports. Mm-hmm. Just really making the most of the time you've got. Good bit of tackling there out of Hudson's Bay. Looks like big Amari Gilbert with the tackle. I've been hunting for the last 2 or 3 years for catchphrases, Paul, and I'm going to come up with one this year.
Okay.
I tried one last year that nobody liked, and so I'm going to try a different one this year.
What time is it? Game time. There. How's that? No, that's pretty boring.
I think that's taken, too.
Yeah.
We used to use that in the opening for our broadcast. Pre-streaming area, we would actually have a video that would open our shows. Right. But streaming now, we come up 10 minutes before the game starts, so we don't miss anything, and people can tune in. And, we had that in our open. So 4:10 here. The clock is running, as these teams are keeping it mostly on the ground at this point. Although I say that here, and we'll see Owen Daly maybe uncork one here. So 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Hands it off up the middle. That's a first down there for Heritage. Good bit of running from Buckman. Excuse me, that was no, that was Buckman.
Yeah,
now I'm second guessing myself.
Sorry,
after
I ruined everything. But no, I haven't been keeping the stats every play, but doing it while I'm on the air with you. Or, I don't know. Do you guys call it on the air? I don't know what you call it. But yeah,
we're on cable. It's the air,
whatever. But I'm just not as good with the stats. In fact, a lot of times I have Brian Levesque coming and do the stats for us when I'm on the air. But so I haven't been doing it. But I just know, just from my memory, Heritage is doing better this half, getting first downs, getting up and down the field. They haven't scored on offense yet, but they're doing better.
Mm-hmm. And plays like that with James just, finding that hole, moving his feet, picking up 8 yards. Just a good bit of running there.
Of course, Hudson's Bay will say, well, this is our next unit. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. It's week 1. Heritage does not care right now what the score is. Heritage wants to get some positive plays to just get a jump start onto week 2.
Move the ball forward and find success and carry it over. Absolutely. Another little swing out there. Ooh, great closing. Just enough of a hit there. Knock him down and pick him up. Good bit of sportsmanship there out of that was Malachi Hodges. Came out of nowhere to knock him down. No wrapping, just hitting.
Yep.
And managed to knock him off and then picked him right back up.
See? That's a sophomore, Malachi Hodges, and he gets his name called by you. His night is made. His night is made.
I've called his name a few times tonight. He's been having a good game.
Yep. That was it.
So 3rd and 3, see if they can pull off another first down like they did last time on 3rd down. Good little play to the inside, a slant, and he's still going. Got that ball off quickly, did Daly.
Was that Carter Dietrich, number 11? That's what I thought. Earlier in the game, they threw to 11 and 17 on back-to-back plays, and I was like, oh no, is that a 7 or a 1? I think it was 11 who caught it, but it might have been 17. So my apologies for not seeing exactly.
I do think it was Jacob Karpiak.
Okay, that's 17, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so my apologies.
Either way, it was a good play.
Yes.
He feels that heat coming. He stays in there and he puts it right on the money. Daly with another nice little throw there. James picks up about a yard. When you don't have a lot of blocking up front, those little quick hitters can really be effective in just moving the chains and keeping the ball moving forward. Like the slants, like the little outs, So almost down to a minute here, 2nd and 10. There's a handoff to James. He breaks a tackle, moves forward about 4 yards. So they're going to have a manageable third down here, about 3rd and 5 on the 21-yard line.
Isaiah James on the carry again.
It's also, we talk about, building towards next week. They're running this no-huddle offense. It's practice effectively for them to get this down because they're going to be in a game where it's going to be close and they're going to need this. Back to pass. Here comes the rush. Gets it off. That ball's up in the air. Not quite.
He had to throw that. I mean, he had. That was the last split second to get that ball in the air.
Daly felt that heat. He managed to get it off. That was off his back foot. I think if he had just one tick more, he did have an open man there. And Nietzsche, that's wrong roster. That's Dakari Bradford. So 4th and 5, 38 seconds left. Unless we see a first down, this is likely the last real play of the game. Checking that wristband just to be sure. Another little screen up the middle.
And first down.
That's going to be very close. I think he's got it, though. Yep, looks like the officials got him about a yard past the line. Yep, first down Heritage. So 31 seconds left here. They've got 3 plays perhaps here to score a touchdown. Here's the replay. That screen has been pretty effective for them all night. We've seen such great penetration by the Eagles defense. That's a great counter for that, obviously.
I thought I don't know if it was a hold or not, but I thought I saw what might have been a hold on the offensive line, and I think that's a good thing when the officials say it's 30 seconds left, it's 31-7. It wasn't, like the guy tackling him. It was just like 50-50. Was it a hold or was it not? Well, when there's 31 seconds left and it's 31-7, you let it go.
Yeah,
and
let the kids play.
That's how it should be. Last night, official had his flag out to throw for pass interference, but then the Washougal receiver made this incredible catch while he was being interfered. The guy never threw the flag because what's the point? It was like a 50-yard pass, so they're not going to take the penalty. And I love that. Just get the time going. We don't need to call a penalty when you know they're going to decline it anyway.
Yeah, why slow the game down?
Yep.
Not good for the fans, not good for the players. Back to the back corner of the end zone. Nearly had it there. Needed a little bit more juice on that one, I think. But it's a good, quick play at the very least. If you don't get a touchdown, you don't get that first down, at least it was a quick play. Lost 5 seconds on that one. 2nd down and 10. So here's the throw right here. He's got his man. Just needed to put it more towards that back pylon. Daly takes the snap, looking to throw. Here comes the weak side, throws it up. This time too much mustard. Got to find that middle zone.
So after this game, I'll be going down the field, get a couple interviews, and then I'll come back here, help you out for the second game, and I'll do some interviews after. I'll be writing one story that'll probably post Saturday morning on Clark County Today. Just more of an opening night at Kiggins Bowl type of thing, and so I'll talk to a couple of the winners from this game, and then I acknowledge, though, I'll probably be focusing more on the Jesuit-Skyview game. That's the bigger of the two games, but we'll see what happens. But I'll have a story posted tomorrow morning on the experience and get some Hudson's Bay quotes in Clark County Today.
Yeah, make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that one tomorrow.
So that was 4th down. Was that 4th? No, it was 3rd.
I think this is 4th down. Yeah.
Nope, it must have been 4th down.
Oh, yeah, scoreboard.
I thought.
No, we got a timeout.
Oh, okay, timeout. Thank you. That's what I just saw the players. I thought they're changing sides already, but no.
Yeah, I was a little confused as well because
So Heritage has one chance. Well, they have more than one chance that they get a first down. First down, and then they can have another play or two at the end zone.
See what they kind of put together here. They've had a lot of success with those little quick ins and quick outs. Not as much success going downfield. We've seen 2 attempts at corner passes here that have not been super successful. So, while you're doing those interviews, I'm going to be eating pizza with the kids, and you're welcome to come back up and get some.
Good deal. I'm going to have to track down a roster for Skyview Jesuit.
Yeah, I'll do that. You go do your thing. So 12.6 seconds left here. 4th and 3. Look, and he swings it in the middle, nearly intercepted, in and out of the hands of Xavier Lyons.
Well, he's mad at himself because everybody wants the interception, but if you don't return that, it's if you get tackled at the 1, it's better to knock it down. It was 4th down, so it's okay. He still made a great play on the ball and kept Heritage out of the end zone. So congratulations on a great play, even if you didn't catch it.
Right, and Heritage, put together what they needed to do in that 4th quarter. They didn't score.
Yep.
They put together a series of good plays, and that's what they needed. And Hudson's Bay did what it needed to do. It got the stop.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 seconds left. We'll probably see a kneel, and then we'll be done.
That'll be it.
Hopefully have some highlights from our crack replay crew.
Congratulations to the Hudson's Bay Eagles, 1-0 in 2023.
Yeah, they want that playoff spot. They nearly got it last year, and they've got a good shot at it this year. I think Washougal at 2A level is the team to beat.
Wow, Washougal looked good last night. Really good.
And that's the ball game, folks. Hudson's Bay wins 31-7, 1-0 in the Greater St. Helens League, 1-0 overall. Season's off to a great start. Heritage falls to 0-1. And they're back in action next week. See the Hudson's Bay fans there as the teams congratulate each other and do the good sportsmanship thing on the field. I think we did see a pretty well-played, good sportsmanship game.
Mm-hmm.
And And sometimes in blowouts, it's hard to do that.
Yep.
Let you know when those replays right here. Great job, guys. Here we go. So first, we've got Raphael Bauman with the big burst to the outside. Hits the hole. Nobody touches him. And with speed like that, nobody's gonna. He takes it to the house. And that play put them up 17-7 after a pretty close first half. Some of that good running from Buckman and James we saw on the Heritage side of things. That good team tackling. We kind of saw this all night. That's not one of those plays that seems like a highlight, except for the fact it's the reason that Hudson's Bay won.
It was for 75, Amari Gilbert chasing down a wide receiver,
That's
getting
true.
a tackle.
That's very true. And here's Akeel Bauman with the big run for his first of 2 touchdowns on the night. Here's the second. Up the middle. Hits the hole. Cruises in for the touchdown. And that was our final touchdown that night. That accounts for the difference. 31-7. Hudson's Bay beats Heritage. Folks, we will be back with you in about a half an hour. Skyview and Jesuit ready to kick off at 8. Paul, thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you in about a half an hour.
I'll be back. Take care.
Thanks, folks.